Hello, I'm Julia Child. Welcome to
Stewed, a food podcast.
Do you ever feel bad about being an elitist piece of garbage?
No, invite me to your house for dinner, you piece of shit.
Go fuck yourself. Shut up.
Are you mentally ill?
This is going to be not a food podcast by the time we're done.
Mike Recine doesn't even like me anymore.
You need an education.
Get out of here! I don't even want to be in the same room with you. Does that make sense to anyone?
Can we wrap a minute ago?
Welcome to Stewed, a food podcast focusing on culinary arts with Tim Dillon. I am Tim Dillon, and this is Mike. Say your name.
You say it. Who cares?
Mike Recine.
We got a special guest with us today. He's a funny comic. His name's Matteo Lane.
I was the gay comic, the second gay comic on the. They wanted another gay.
Oh, we wanted
another
Frank
gay
Leote.
Italian.
He was not available. So we were like, who else can we fill the time in this?
Right.
Who
said Amber, and then
then we said Amber.
So,
and then we said there's a guy who makes us the sandwiches at the bodega.
Yeah, we tried to get Raul here, and we appreciate Matteo coming out. Matteo has a big relationship with food. You're an Italian guy. Your family's mega Italian.
I drew the cover for your guys' podcast.
You did.
Oh,
you
that's
did
right.
the art.
Yeah.
You did the art for the podcast. I appreciate it.
Very nice work.
And charged us. What did we pay? Like $1,000 each?
We got a deal.
I'm kidding. I know it was fair.
Oh.
I know. And your family goes to Italy often, or you go to Italy often?
Mm-hmm.
And
Sicily and Messina.
Sicily.
Yeah, it is Italy. I didn't mean
now
to be
you're Southern Italian. It's funny. There's kind of an animosity, right, between the Northern Italians and the Southern Italians.
Yeah, well, my grandma's Napolitano and my grandpa's Sicilian. So even like Napolitans, like everything is. The divide between Rome. I feel like everything I'm going to say, Mike doesn't want to hear it. There's like a look on your face where you're kind of like,
he just doesn't understand what you're talking about.
You get it, though. Aren't you Napolitan? What are you? What's your family from?
We're from a little village called Ripi.
Yeah.
Tiny little farming
South?
village. What?
Are you South?
The place we're from is my great uncle likes to tell this story where his grandfather's uncle killed a guy with a hatchet. He chopped his body in half, and nobody liked the guy that he killed, so he got away with it.
My grandma, I have it on video telling the story at Christmas. She was showing pictures of her family and her cousin. She goes, "This is my cousin Franco who hacked his wife to death."
We are animals, huh?
Yeah. But we're animals who make the best food in the world.
Well, is it the best food in the world? You know,
yes.
France would disagree.
But if you've never eaten in Italy,
I love Italian food.
But American Italian food is a completely different thing.
Okay, now you're gonna be a snob.
Yeah, but I am a snob. But
I
mean, there's great pizza places, despite what Alexis Guerrero's tells you. And
shots fired.
Wow. Him and I go back and forth all the time.
That's okay.
But no, I love Italian and different cities in Italy, like in Rome, for example. That's the only city you can get spaghetti alla matriciana, cacio e pepe, and carbonara. You can't get it anywhere else.
You can't get carbonara
You get it in New
anywhere else?
York. You get it in New York.
It's very similar to like in New York. What's like a New York food?
Pastrami.
Okay,
it's a New York food.
Okay, so yeah, like you wouldn't find that in Chicago.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of a way to describe it.
I get what you mean. It's certainly probably
the way
superior.
it's prepared or something? Or
yeah,
the ingredients are much higher quality.
Yeah.
My dad came back from Italy with his wife, said that their pasta and their bread stood out as being heads and shoulders above anything he's had in America. The sauces were amazing, but 50% of the country is unemployed. Mm-hmm. That number is even higher when you look at people under 30.
Yeah, that's the ticking time bomb, they say, right?
I mean, they drive very fast. They're just driving all over the place, and they just watch soccer and get drunk. That's all they do. Mm-hmm. But I've always wanted to go and eat there. Now, when you go to Italy, do you go to a bunch of different places?
Yeah, I mean, well, normally I when I was younger, up until like 5 years ago, I would go to Sicily and stay with family. And we have family friends in a beach town that I go to and like stay there. But then I just was in Rome in October with my friends from Chicago. Yeah, and it was fun. And we got to run around and eat. I feel like I should be really funny. I was just driving 6.5 hours, so
Get
I'm
out
like,
of here.
No, don't be
like,
funny.
whoa.
Don't be. We don't. Our brand is not funny.
No, it's not.
There's a lot.
I know.
Although Mary called me a guinea last episode.
No,
That
I
was
called
pretty-
you a lot.
You know what I like? Dago. No one says Dago. It doesn't. Isn't
I
that?
say Dago.
Where does Dago come
that's
from,
like-
though? We know where all the other ones come
I
from.
believe this might be a rumor, but Dago is because Italians can't pronounce TH like they. So Dago, and it's like, yeah, he's a Dago.
What about WAP? Where does WAP come from?
Without papers.
Without papers.
Without papers.
Because at a time we were
Guinea.
like we were there's so many of us that would just come without, like, they would just write WAP on us.
I imagine there's like a family of people listening to this in the car,
And they're so
and like
offended.
2 kids who want to be chefs, and the mother's like, "Oh, this seems like it'll be a fun introduction," and then it's just like us talking about like what ISIS eats, you know?
What do you think they eat?
I don't know. I wanted to do a whole episode on terrorist food, like because ISIS does have to sit down for a meal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to sit down and break bread.
They probably tried to make their own hummus, and that's why they're so mad.
Yeah,
You ever
it's
try to
very-
make your own hummus? Very
No.
frustrating.
Don't you just
I don't
take
have that kind of
chickpeas
time.
and blend them with olive oil? Like in
no,
a food
you need
processor?
tahini. You need the right amount of garlic, the right amount of lemon. It's a tough process.
Now-
I used Dinah Garden's recipe one time. It did not come out.
You know,
very good,
I
very
love her, but
garlicky.
as much as I love her,
Yeah.
every time she makes apple pie or apple crumble, something with apple, she puts too much goddamn lemon and
Really?
orange in it. And
She's also got like 9,000 machines in her kitchen.
Yeah,
What do you?
yeah.
Come
Now,
on.
didn't you teach like Mike how to make tomato sauce?
I didn't teach Mike how to make tomato sauce, but
didn't
Mike
you-
called and said, "When you do it, how do you do it?
But
What's your
didn't you
step?"
give him a recipe, which he's now made lots of money selling? Hasn't he sold your sauce without
yeah, I forgot
really
about
giving you
that.
any?
Yeah,
I'm just curious. I don't know.
But you called
I have
me
no
and said
skin in
that
the game.
I showed you the wrong tomatoes, which is wrong. I said get
I didn't say they
cento San Marzano, not the San Marzano, like the thing that
I
just
love
says.
San
Yes, but
Marzano.
that's the kind that
San
you gave me. You
Marzano.
gave me a can of the San Marzano brand, which is not. They're not even from Italy. They're from California.
No, I should have given you the cento with the yellow.
Yes, those are good.
Yeah,
Have you had Mike's sauce?
yeah, Mike's sauce
What do
is
you
good.
What do you
Have
think
you?
about
It
it?
was good. The one
Yeah.
you gave me was more spicy than the other one, so it was kind of like an arrabbiata, but
Yeah.
yeah. I hate, yeah. So
The
I don't want to sound like
consistency's
John
not
De
always.
Laurentiis.
The consistency's not always. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's a little more spicy.
Well,
a
when
little-
you make it with
little
it's
less.
such large quantities, it's like
It's
it's
hard
hard
to-
to keep control over
yeah.
what you're doing. I've been sending.
Have you had it? You haven't had it yet.
I've not had it yet. I'm
It
sure
was
I
good.
will.
We had
I'll
it.
gift you a jar.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you want. It's
What
all
did you have it with?
I had it with fusilli. My mom sends me fusilli
Oh,
from our Italian grocery store. The long fusilli, like they're like look like telephone wires. You know,
Chicago's got good
Okay.
Italian food.
Chicago's got great Italian.
Yeah, I
food,
mean,
but
New York's the
York
best.
is the best.
New York's the best.
Really?
100%.
best. Yeah,
New
yeah,
York's the
yeah.
best.
What are your favorite Italian restaurants in the city?
My favorite's Ribalta on 12th Street and Broadway. It's
very good.
yeah.
You
it's
been
great.
there?
Yeah, never been. Everyone talks about it. Like you're the third person who said it's really good.
I'm sure I've sent everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
I've like sent people at my shows. The only
Right.
reason is because it's Veda. They have the sign outside Veda Pizza, so that
Right.
means it's been certified by Napoli to be Naples to be considered authentic Naples pizza.
Right.
So like the wood burning has to be at a certain temperature, and the
Right.
wood has to be certain wood, and the brick oven has to be from Italy,
Right.
and the bread has to be everything. But it's really great. And everyone's from Italy there, and even the busboys who are Mexican speak Italian, which is hysterical.
That is
But
nice.
if you go in and you know
That's
you're
a nice touch.
you know you're at a good Italian restaurant. If you go, we should go, all of us.
Sure.
On a Saturday night.
Mary invited?
Yes, Mary, come. Just get
She
rid of
wasn't
that cough.
in his initial
I'm
thing.
joking. I'm joking.
He
Right.
did
It
not
just went like
include
this
Mary.
around the table.
Yeah,
But-
he actually said he's like we should go all of us, not Mary, because she is not a person.
He held up a sign.
I knew beforehand. I was like, you know what? I don't like
Mary
that
can-
Mary.
Mary
So I'll
can
just
just
write
say-
not Mary and weave
Yeah.
this sign into conversation.
Mary can drive us.
But they
Oh, thank you so much, Tim.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you so
welcome.
much.
But if you walk in and on a
Get the
Saturday,
stewed van.
it's full of Italians, like from Italy. So that's
Yeah.
a good sign. Everyone's speaking Italian. It's great.
So
Yeah.
where is it? What
Same
part
with
of
the
town?
Asian restaurants too. You want
Right.
to see Asians in there.
Yeah, that's what you need. Where? What part of town?
12th Street and Broadway.
12th Street and Broadway. I see Mary's got it up on the old screen. Is that it, Mary? You're just
And they have the
doing-
best pasta pomodoro. It's great.
Okay.
Are they specifically pizza or do they have? No, they
No, they have a
other
bunch of
stuff.
pasta. Yeah, it's
What's
great.
your favorite Italian restaurant?
Maybe I used to like Frankie's.
Yeah.
But they went a little. Their portions got a little small,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think they went downhill a little bit.
Okay.
They're a little overpriced. But the one in Brooklyn is still great. Frankie's 4, 5.
You took me to far. Where'd you take Dan and I?
We went to a place called DeFara's, which is really
DeFara.
good pizza in Brooklyn. It's just
Oh,
New York
yeah.
style pizza. It's great, and the dude who's been doing it forever, Dominic, whatever his name is, an old wop. He's been there since when he dies, like pizza dies.
Yeah.
He's been there forever, and he makes the pies by hand. And there's like a line, and
It was
it's really
good.
No, it's great. It's good pizza. Totono's at Coney Island's really good pizza, and it's a trek. Those are there's like day tripping things.
How about Sam's? You guys been to Sammy's restaurant?
Carol Gardens?
Carol Gardens.
No, but I hear
No.
that's phenomenal.
Alexa said that's the best
Yeah.
pizza.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, what everyone's got a different opinion about everything, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, everybody. I love Ellen Spumoni Garden. In terms of Italian
Yeah,
restaurants.
that's okay. A little oregano heavy, I think.
Yeah,
for
I
sauce.
love Il Molino in the Village, in the West Village. I love Carbone in the West
actually-
Village. Carbone's very expensive, very tough to get in. So not a lot of
But you
people-
can afford to eat there, right?
Well, I've been several times, and I can always get in, and a lot of people.
Right.
So don't message me. and
Have
go,
you
"How
had
do-"
the chicken parm?
yeah.
It's veal parm, sweetie, actually, and I have.
Do you have
Thank you,
a
Mr.
do you have a
Dillon.
trick?
Yeah, it's veal parm.
Do you have a trick on how to get in, or they just see you?
I
and you're
have a
so
different number
infectious
than
that
you
they-
have, and your family has. Your mother and father have a different number than I have. Your grandmother.
I feel like I'm the worst guest. Normally I'm on my game. I'm funny, but I'm just sort of like, yeah, 12th Street and
No,
Broadway.
he's just a pig who makes
I'm
it
not
about
a pig.
him. all
I
the
just
time.
it's not about me. It's just about I give a lot of recommendation on the show, and I don't want everyone thinking that everything's for everyone.
So what are you?
Right.
You're Irish,
I am Irish.
and
yeah.
what are you?
Irish and Dutch.
Okay, so now how many? Because Mike and I probably have way more similar eating habits as kids. But like, how many days a week did you eat pasta?
No, we ate fast food all the time. My mother was schizophrenic, and I come from a long line of alcoholics. Like we ate a lot of Italian food. We ate pizza. We ate ravioli. I grew up with Italian kids in my town in Long Island, and I hung out with them because Italians have bigger penises. And I've said this before.
do.
God took some of an Italian's brain and put it in their penis because Italians are not smart, but they have great penises.
Just
So
Da Vinci and Michelangelo.
I know that's two. That's like saying I have nice eyes. That's not. You know what I mean? There's an entirety to the picture.
Machiavelli.
Yeah. All right. There's Machiavelli.
Caravaggio.
I'm sure that you even know. Like
Verdi, Bellini, Rossini.
Explain Machiavelli, Mike.
Machiavelli is like man shit. It's like how to.
There we go. There we go. There it is.
That's what Brett
There
Ernst
is an
told me
East
once.
Coast.
He
I'm
said, "You
telling
gotta
you
read The
though, like
Prince. It's man
there is
shit."
this thing
I
about
love
East
that
Coast
guy.
Italians that is so weird. I don't get it.
What?
I don't get the whole like, yeah, you want to come over get my sauce, Goomba, like the chains. This I don't
Right.
understand.
What's wrong with that? It's
And
a great
bec-
culture.
It's not
Look,
Italian.
No, but yes, it is.
It is,
Kinda-
but it's
they're
not. But I don't
flashy
like
over there.
I don't like that. Like one time I spoke Italian. This guy goes, "No, I'm not talking that Italian. I'm talking Brooklyn Italian." I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait, what?" Like
We're
there's just
showing off a
this-
little bit. We've been working class. We had to work, shitty jobs. So now we were like, hey, I got some. Let me put some gold on.
I know, well, I guess I
Stand up.
have
We're
family
like the
that's
blacks.
the same. God, Mike.
Is that so, Mike?
What?
Anyway, so
Yeah,
okay,
so
we're
twice
very-
a
anyways,
week,
we're very-
pasta. I would eat. My mom loved tortellini. She loved ravioli. We would, all my Italian friends, we would hang out at their houses, and I would wrestle with them. They would make their parents would make great dishes, eggplant parm, and all that stuff, and we'd eat that. So I eat a lot of Italian food. And
Italians
yeah.
do have nice dicks, though.
They
I
have
had sex with
beautiful-
this guy named Francesco in Italy
you
in
never
October.
I feel like you never hook up with Americans. You love.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah,
He loves foreign guys.
He's
I
got
do.
some weird, standards.
Actually, that's not true. I just don't like blue eyes. I'm not into Aryans.
I loved Aryans, and I just love them. You
want,
hate
like-
what I like. I like that lacrosse playing dumb broy jockey, and you like you don't like you like this is Frederico. Like yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, What about Mike?
So
Would
fun.
Mike do it?
It seems so fun.
Yeah, it does seem fun. You could be gay, Mike. You could do it.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't you think?
Yeah, Mike could do it.
Yeah, I'm flattered.
But
Mike, how many nights a week did you guys eat like pasta or what was your typical?
We did a Sunday dinner at my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
I got yelled at for eating too many desserts.
What kind of desserts?
Just like frozen ice pops or whatever.
What kind of food who was cooking in your house when you grew up?
My mom cooked. She's not that great. She's a little bit lazy. My dad's okay. He'll make like a pasta with shrimp and broccoli sometimes. I'm good. I make stuffed shells or.
do you cook a lot?
made
Do you
a-
still live with Evan? And,
Yeah.
And do you guys cook ever? Like have family meals?
Yeah, we do. I cook a lot. They don't like pasta that much.
Yeah.
They just like she's super Mexican, never ate pasta
Now, after
ever growing
when Trump
up.
is elected and she's deported, do you think it'll be weird in the house?
It'll be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're married now, so they're married. So she's an American.
Well, we're gonna see. I don't know. I think he's gonna really.
Trump,
we're gonna really.
Trump is.
We're
Well,
gonna,
that's another.
We're gonna
story.
lay down the law.
But Evan doesn't eat like Evan. I don't think he grew up eating like she ate well. Like
Evan
she
grew
ate
up
great
eating
Mexican
heroin.
food.
If you listen to what he talks about.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's like fucking. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It was like it was like a rough life, man. I was like I was a coke addict, man.
That's a
It was-
great
it was
Evan
rough,
Williams
man. It was
impression.
pretty rough. Okay. All right. Yeah.
That's so fun. We should get Evan Williams on
Please
talk
go-
about food.
But
Talk
he
about
doesn't.
muscle
He doesn't
milk.
eat food.
No, he eats like muscle
He
milk.
makes
and, like,
eggs every day, and he
supplements.
makes them differently every day, and fucks them up. And I yell at him. I'm like,
Right.
"Would you
Right.
put the heat on at least a 6, and put the butter down, and
Yeah.
let when it starts to boil, then throw on your eggs." So,
Well, you gotta come up with a system of
He'll
punishment.
put a
Like
pan
pasta.
down and put it super high, and then walk away for like a minute, and then come back and then try and put the egg on, and
Well,
it's like boiling.
You gotta
and
find a way to put, like, every time he does that, you make him read a page of a book. Like, you have to find a way to really get him and be like, Now you do. I'm kidding.
But I
love
do
it.
cook. My cousin comes over a lot, and him
Yeah.
and I, we enjoy. I don't think Evan doesn't enjoy cooking, but I mean,
What is it about Italians? It is such a relationship with food and the preparation of it, cooking food.
I grew up with
Yeah.
First of all, I grew up on the same block as all my cousins. We're all
Right.
the same age,
Right.
And so a part of growing up was when my mom was making dinner. We make it with her. She'd line us up. We'd roll the meatballs with her. We'd cook the pasta with her.
Yeah.
It just is what it was, and that was
It's a
how
fun
she
way to
grew
like
up.
connect with the people around
Yeah.
you. Like I made some gnocchi during the snowstorm, and it was just like, I gave my girlfriend stuff to do. Nothing like too difficult or anything, but
But the part of the, not to be too cheesy, but part of the reason why
Yeah.
I like it is because when I am cooking something my mom taught me, it's kind of like, it's her mother taught her mother taught her. I like the tradition. I like
Right,
the sense
no, of
coming
course.
together.
it's also a way to like express yourself. Like you're putting a dish together, and you got to buy everything. So what?
I used to like to cook
you're
when I was a little
selecting-
kid. I loved like in the 7th and 8th grade. Like,
Well, you're
Yeah.
good.
I tried. I used to make salmon. One thing I can make a better chocolate souffle than anyone. I'm like a huge souffle
I would love
guy.
to have that.
I can make really great chocolate or any flavor souffle, and pumpkin souffle is great. But it's like, I don't know, I just fell out of it, and it's kind of depressing because I remember cooking.
Well,
There was
you
I
always
used to-
eat well, but
I
you're
do
not a
eat well.
cook.
I never cook. But I used to crust like salmon with potatoes and like have this potato crusted salmon, and I'd make a puree with like leeks and so like I used to be into it, and I just fell out of it. And I used to love cooking shows, and I was
But how do you really? I mean, we're out every night.
It's very hard.
It is hard.
There's no.
It
What do you
is
even cook
hard.
a meal for
it's
yourself?
it's hard, and I don't. Really,
I have to say I cook my lunches,
Yeah.
but it's not like I'm not cooking like pasta and stuff. So
I assemble things. I make sandwiches, but
Yeah.
I don't really cook.
I did do this web series. They come to your house and they ask you. It's like called Stand Up and Eat.
What's in your fridge or something?
Yeah, and so you cook
Imagine
what's
when
in
they
your fridge.
open Tim's fridge.
Just a dead body.
His mother's head is
yeah,
wrapped in
yeah.
foil.
Just like
They're like, well, we're really happy we came here, and now we're gonna try this Vicodin pudding.
yeah, it's just like a frozen cat. Yeah, but I cooked carbonara for them. It was
Nice.
really, really fun to like, and I think it's expressing yourself, like showing how to. I don't know. I love it. I love watching.
You
Anthony
love the
Bourdain.
carbonara. Is that your
My favorite
your thing?
meal.
Yeah.
And when I went to Rome, I had it 7 nights a week.
You ever have carbonara?
Yeah, it's great.
Real carbonara.
Oh yeah. I've had it. I mean, as I haven't had it in Rome, but I have it the way the great spots in New York do. Il Molino's no joke. It's from the Abruzzo
Right.
region. These are real Italian people. Go into Il Molino and tell them they don't know what they're doing.
I know.
These are real Italian
Do
people.
they put peas, onions, cream? Are they using pecorino?
I mean, they're
Any of that
using
shit, they're
everything.
mess.
I mean,
They're a mess.
no, they're using everything they need to use. I mean, listen, I think that they do it pretty legit. In
I heard
Il
it's
Molino.
overpriced.
I'm
You know,
telling
Mike,
you, Tim.
let me
we're
tell you
gonna
why
go-
it's overpriced. So they don't have to look at your vapid face. They don't have to look at your blank, semi-autistic
know.
expression while you shovel food into your
I
mouth.
just think $35 is too high.
Yeah, it is
For
too.
a bowl of
Spaghetti.
pasta.
It is too
I
high
could make
because
it
they
myself.
don't.
Make it myself in my house.
And
so
that's
it'll
what
be
they
just
want
as
you
good.
doing. So continue to do that. Nobody wants to be at the bar at El Molino and make some point about the market.
Where's Emilino?
It's in the West Village on West 3rd. Nobody wants to make a point about the market. Be like, the Fed, as soon as they shut down this quantitative easing, we got this entire problem, and the whole world's, drunk on cheap credit. Now the emerging markets are floundering, and then you're like, this is man shit.
But is money?
I stopped listening to that like a minute ago.
I know this
Emilio's
is
money-
where in
These
the
are
West
Italian people.
Is money everything? The other day I just sat in the park for like 2 hours.
I know, that's disgusting.
It was a lot of fun.
That's insane. That's who does that? Dead people. I just sat in the park. I do like sitting. Mary, have you ever felt that this is a horrible use of your time?
Did I
feel
come on
like-
a day where you guys are like breaking down?
Do you feel like life is passing you by?
Do you feel like, is this what you had hoped, like when you moved here?
I really.
Mary's
going
gonna
to
be on an episode of Snapped. She
yeah.
produced a podcast.
Mary, who
Deadly
would you
women.
kill? Who are you gonna kill first?
Oh,
come on.
definitely Tim.
Thank
oh,
you.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hey!
But Mike will be a close second. So
I abuse Mary. Mary
Now, how
does
would you
the-
Mike
do
does
it.
have charm. I don't know what it is about Mike.
Yeah.
You're charming, Tim, but just in a very
I mean-
uncomfortable way.
You're infectious.
I think that a lot of people.
yeah, like deadly fever.
I mean, I'm not
wanna
I
let
really
you
thought
in.
I was gonna come here. We were gonna talk about food. What was wrong with me?
No, it's not about.
I'm here to
food.
watch
Well,
you two-
we start that way and then it
Now,
devolves.
Mateo Lane, you're very controversial. You're supporting Trump. Can you talk
you
about
imagine?
that? You're supporting.
imagine?
Do you know who is the tranny ham sandwich? The brilliant, hilarious
Ham sandwich?
Is supporting Trump. Loves
The drag
Trump.
queen?
Jacqueline Novak told me the other night that Ham Sandwich talks about how much he loves Trump.
Who's Ham Sandwich?
He's the drag queen that the fucking at what bar is that?
I thought that was your name for Caitlyn Jenner.
No, Ham Sandwich talks about how ISIS is bad and gay people are suffering in the Middle East and blah blah blah. And it's fascinating that Ham says so. Me and Ham Sandwich may go on a tour.
I do think as as a form of entertainment, it's hysterical how stupid
He's
this
very
country
funny.
is. But I mean,
Well,
he shouldn't be a leader. That's ridiculous.
Well, maybe not. But he probably shouldn't be a leader. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't just call the whole country stupid. I think it's
To get-
intellectually lazy to just say people are stupid.
I think that I think what I'm trying to say is, if you can allow someone to just get that ahead because he's got an unbelievable amount of money and can say whatever he wants, well, okay.
Yeah, but Jeb Bush had $100 million.
Yes, I don't think it's just money. I mean,
yeah, but
Jeb
I'm saying
Bush.
he wasn't. He seems very fascist, Donald Trump.
Everyone keeps saying that. I don't know. I get where that comes from, and I do respect people that are worried about those things, and I don't take it lightly. I just think it's become like this weird knee-jerk thing to say he's Hitler.
Yeah.
He's not Hitler, but he's doing things that are fascist. He's targeting minorities and blaming economic problems on them.
I think he's speaking out about things in an uncomfortable way, but I don't think he's gonna deport anybody. I think he's riling people up with this. And I think it's kind of brilliant.
It's a weird message to send.
It's a strategy.
because a lot of Americans aren't just like white straight people. So there's a lot of Americans who are Indian, who are Middle Eastern, who
Yeah,
are
but do they
Mexican,
count
who
as-
are South American.
But
And
I
then
think he's winning.
sending the wrong message.
He won the Hispanic vote in Nevada. I mean, he has relatively high poll numbers with some minorities. I mean, he's not. I don't think his.
I'm just
voting
saying, as a
group-
leader of a country, when you saying we're going to build up a wall and we're going to make them pay for it, and you're blaming the Muslims are going to make sure they get out of here, but we're going to
Well,
stop.
but you
you're
need a-
you're
yeah.
not, and you're not giving real definitive answers. You're just giving broad statements to make people to seep into people's fears.
Right.
It's uncomfortable and it sends the wrong message.
Well, I
to
think
your
he's
country.
saying we need a border. And we need a border that isn't porous because it's dangerous to have people come into the country illegally. You don't know who they are. They could be criminals. They could be terrorists. And I think that
Yeah, but
there
who's
needs to
going to
be-
build the wall? You ever think about that?
Well, I mean, so I think that's what he's saying. And I think he's just saying it in a way. Now, here's the brilliance of the Trump campaign. He has no ground operation like Hillary Clinton does. So what he's doing is he's saying these crazy things. But has anyone talked about anything but Trump for the last 5-6 months? No.
I know, because
And
it's
he
a
is-
spectacle. It's
But
not-
but it's,
not-
brilliant. But it's also brilliant because at the end of the day, it's enabled him to get this massive lead because the press is focused on no one but him.
What he's doing, he's great at. I mean, I'm
He
not
is funnier than most comedians. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well, that's not saying much.
Right.
But I mean, how did we get into Trump?
Because we were talking about
I don't know.
I don't know.
So carbonara is your favorite?
Immigrant food. But no, I mean, listen, because we wanted to. This is not only about food. Now, Mary, you're supporting John Kasich because you fucked him when you were younger, and you
Absolutely.
Who
How
who
much
who
younger were you?
How
you-
big is his penis?
Who are you
Very.
supporting in the race?
She likes
Shoot, that's
Bernie
politics.
Sanders.
No, absolutely not.
Do you like Hillary?
No.
I like Bernie Sanders.
Do you like anyone?
I'm undecided.
Okay, you said that like I'm
Are you leaning?
kidnapping you, like you're in a closet and have a gun in your mouth. Like I'm an independent. It's like we're just curious. Who is Mike supporting? Do you even know what's happening? There's a presidential race happening.
Oh, there is?
Do you know? He's like, I'm supporting Tommy. It's like, what? Tommy. Who are you supporting? Do you know?
I guess I like Bernie. He seems like he's honest.
He's not even going to be nominated. Like he's done already, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Is
I
it?
know that is weird.
It's
how
very,
it was like
you know.
I don't know,
Clinton
not
just got in
necessarily.
there.
Well,
Because Obama didn't win Super Tuesday.
no, but I
Yeah.
think mathematically it's an uphill battle for Bernie.
Well, Bernie did win the states that have them, like Colorado, Vermont. What else did he win? He's winning
was it
bigger
Rhode Island?
states.
But he won Vermont with his 19 lesbians, so good for him.
offensive. I find that very offensive.
This is our lesbian Jan.
Hi, my name is John. I came down from Vermont. I left my wife there to watch all of our kids, and when I say kids, I mean my 7 Dalmatians. But thank you. Mike has zero response to this. Not even a move, like a flicker of an eye.
That's your Bernie impression?
As a lesbian.
It's a lesbian, Mike.
Oh.
Mike is very uncomfortable with gay people. He doesn't admit it,
Yeah.
but he's very uncomfortable.
You don't seem uncomfortable around me.
Maybe you're not gay.
Well, you should. Let's not say things we can't take back.
So Italian people, you know,
In Italy, very different too. That's what I was.
what's
trying to
so
stress.
different about Italy than America? I mean, other than the
than
fact
American Italians? I don't want
Right.
to generalize American Italians either, but they just. I mean, they're very. You're like checking your phone as you ask me a question. Tim would be a great politician.
I think I'd be very good at everything.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I think I'd be a good politician because I genuinely care about people.
By the way, Tim, I think I found a Twitter you'd really like. Twinks for Trump.
Oh my god.
Do you like Twinks, Tim?
I love them.
Oh, so you're like into a Twinkie?
It's
dude.
just a Hostess
19,
snack
20.
cake.
I like a good
Their
19,
account.
20-year-old lacrosse player, but I never get the jockey guys. I always get the guys from NYU or Juilliard who are like really,
And then you show them.
Do
Yeah.
you want to get coffee?
Yeah, they just want to hug something fat because they missed their uncle. And that's what I get. I do get like very like
You and Bianca Del Rio would get along.
I get very weird, like good looking, but very not like like we don't have many similar interests.
I just dated this guy from Miami who was like a piece of shit. And he was HIV positive.
What was his name? Bianco.
No, can you imagine? But he was like a
Okay.
um
And it positive. Mm-hmm. Wow. Good
yeah,
for you.
very progressive of me.
No, very good.
I topped. I wore a condom.
I would have. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes do I have AIDS? And
I thought that last week.
You know what
Frank
I mean?
Liotti had to take me to that clinic in Chelsea to get pricked because I was like, I'm sick. I think I have HIV.
Oh my god.
But that's what happens with us. Everyone tells us it's
We
like
have
this.
AIDS.
Yeah.
Listen, let me ask everyone a question. And this is before I know we have to wrap it up, Mary. Stop it, Hitler. If I blew someone, but they didn't come in my mouth, there's no way I have AIDS.
Even if you blew them and you did swallow, it's the lowest. It's
But
very low risk.
if there's no cum in my mouth at all,
Oh, I don't know.
what about pre-cum? Is
No.
that a huge no, right? So
Not with blowing. There's been no evidence. There's been. They
Are you
say
sure?
they have to say it's low risk, but they.
But there's
say,
like
but
no
it's-
evidence, and my gums are like not that healthy, but they're not that bad.
No, no,
I
no,
think
no, no.
pre-cum is a myth. I don't think anything is transmitted through it.
I've never.
Not babies, not diseases. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening.
As always, astudepodcast@gmail.com. If you have any
What are we-
questions
what are
about
we learning
carbonara
today?
or AIDS, carbonara and AIDS. Let's call this episode carbonara and AIDS. I want to thank our guest Mateo Lane. You can get him on Twitter at
Mateo Lane.
Okay. He's on Guy Code and a bunch of different stuff. Check it out. And what's the new show? Can you say? Can you plug
Oh,
that?
Ladylike.
Lady, are you on that? You're on that.
I mean, yeah, it's like they just like, all right, get him in here as a butler again.
no, it's hilarious. Lady Like's coming out on MTV7 and.
MTV7. No, it's coming out on MTV.
No, it's coming out. It's gonna be hilarious. You're gonna be funny. I was a fucking. I played a supermarket manager because I looked like a destitute.
Did you have fun?
for
The
what? I
cast
had a
and crew was great, weren't they?
I had a great time and I loved
Yeah.
them all
On his show?
on the Lady Like show. Yeah.
You think we'd make a generic swastika here at Gas
I'm
Digital?
just saying, like some networks would opt to like, oh, just put like the red and the white together in a circle.
No, we go real deal.
We have the triggering elements. I like it.
When it comes to hate crimes, this network
We don't
spares no expense.
Do not pull punches.
No. Tim Dillon's going to hell. We are here. It's a reunion with Mike Recine. Remember our podcast, Stewed?
How could I forget?
People like it.
Yeah, they do.
It was a good show.
People really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was at on Cave Comedy Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is no longer, right?
Is it? What's going on there? Do you know?
I can't say, but I'm pretty sure it no longer exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and what happened to Mary Kelly? Does she exist? She was our producer. Remember her?
Yeah.
What
think
happened to her?
I think she lives in that booth above,
Yeah.
above the creek.
She left. She doesn't work at the creek anymore, right?
She doesn't.
I thought.
I think you're right.
I thought she does tech or something.
She did, but I think you're right. I think she did leave.
She left.
Okay.
We would come in every
Well,
day.
On to better things. I hope.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
She's stuck under a bus somewhere.
We always used to like joke around that she probably just had a miserable life. Like a really sad,
But she was
through
a very
no fault
sweet
of her
person,
own.
yeah.
Yeah, like just a sweet lady.
And
who'd-
intelligent. She was smart too.
smart, but like we always joke around
she's
like,
not loud. You got to be loud.
you gotta be
You
loud.
gotta be
But
confident.
we would joke around that she would be like that she would get like hit by a bus and then the bus driver would like look out the window and be like, "Hey, fuck you."
Get out of yeah. Why were you standing there?
Yeah. She'd be like laying on the street, she'd be like, "I'm sorry," with blood in her mouth. And it was a great show. The show was about food,
Yeah.
Raviolis.
Some people sue when they get in an accident, but then
Yeah.
Mary apologizes and gives the business more money. She writes them a check.
She's
Like, I hope we can forget about this.
we would go into the studio and just yell at each other about like a barbecue, and then Mary would be like, Google it, look it up, and then she'd like be like, oh, Mike is right, and I'd be like, shut up, you dumb bitch. Or if she was like, Tim's right, he would be like, Mary, and she, it was a great show.
Yeah, it was a tough show to do because I feel like food culture is just so like empty and nobody really cares.
Nobody
and
gives
it was
a
hard
shit.
to find stuff to talk about.
Not every week, right?
Yeah.
We would just start babbling about ISIS.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. No one watches food shows. You're right.
Well, no, but I mean, you
No,
can't-
everybody does.
But it's hard to do it for an hour.
Right.
I mean, that guy Carl Hess in L.A., he figured out a way to do it. But we never wanted to have like chefs on. Like
That guy didn't even eat before he
I
became
know.
the food guy, though.
Yeah, it's true. He
Yeah.
doesn't eat anything.
Where's he on? He's got a podcast?
We did a podcast in L.A. and he interviews like
Well,
chefs
he's like the
and
food.
shit.
He's like the food guy, I guess. But
I know.
I don't know he was
we're the
ever-
funny guys.
Right.
We were always trying to be funny.
Yeah.
So
Suck
like,
my dick, Carl.
yeah. I mean, good luck, Carl. But
I'm pitching my own food show advice soon.
yeah, is it true?
Yeah.
What's
It's gonna be me cooking and just like blind without a cookbook, and I don't know. It's gonna be me and a lot of like slop and like raviolis.
They're gonna pass.
See, I had an idea for a cooking show, but my manager was like, "Oh, everybody wants to do their own food show. That's not
What
worth
was it a good idea?
Yeah, it was like me. No, I mean I don't know. Who knows? Is anything a good idea?
Do you want to say what it
He's
is
like,
or no?
He's like, I got a call with the Lucas brothers and Josh Rabinowitz.
wait a minute. Do you want to say what it was?
It was like basically a cooking show, but it was done in a way where it's like me having a conversation with somebody at a bar or a comedy club, and we talk a recipe out, and then you see me cooking it
Like on a hot plate?
under our conversation. So it's like a video podcast where you see me cooking the recipe.
Do you have like a hot plate at the bar?
No, it's like you see me in my apartment cooking the thing
Oh, okay.
as we're talking about it.
Yeah,
That'd be
then
nice.
Then your manager's like, he's like, hey, yeah, that sounds great. Listen,
Excuse me, I have a black 4-year-old that I represent.
He's like,
that's
listen,
making money.
he's like, I hate to ask you, but I'm actually moving Saturday. Is there any way you could just grab the truck and help me out? I just got to move a
still
few
do
bu-
that?
Yeah. Is there any way that we could get a truck?
That's actually I'm gonna pitch that.
Yeah.
Me outside in a hot plate cooking, like a cooking show, but like I'm not gonna call it homeless cooking because that's like trigger shit. But like that could be good.
The great thing about you is when you're involved in a project and you're the face of it, you don't have to say the word homeless.
Right.
It's implied.
Yeah.
It's implied that it's a hobo cooking show. Like that's what it's.
Yeah.
We got one opportunity from that show, Stewed. One opportunity, kind of.
Yeah.
A real slimy guy in production who
Yeah.
worked in Jersey.
British guy.
Wait, no, was he British?
Well, the guy that contacted us was.
He was British.
Yeah.
Right. And then he like did interviews with us.
Yeah.
He's like, hello.
Yeah, he calls. He's like, "Hello, this is George. We're a big fan of your podcast. We're making a show for the Food Network, and we want you guys to test." Now he made it sound like it was just me and you.
Yeah,
that
we
were
thought
gonna-
it was
we were
just
gonna-
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get to the original, like the meeting where they're gonna.
And then we see like
There's like 9 people. There's
So many
there's like
people.
12 people there.
there's 12 people there. And the guy who's running the whole thing was a guy. This
We're
guy. I don't want to say his name, but is a guy in production who's just like he's just like kind of like a
He's
car
like-
salesman vibe.
Yeah.
And he had like an
He's
office.
like gay, but he's not gay.
Yeah, but he had this like office in Hoboken. He's like aggressively metrosexual.
Yeah.
Well, you had to go to Hoboken.
Yeah, we had to go to
Yeah.
Hoboken. That's always a good sign, by the way, when you have an office in Hoboken. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's always a great sign.
Right.
And this guy was like, just kind of like slimy. And me and Mike showed up, and he like really liked us. And then we saw there was like
That's the thing. They did like us.
they loved us.
Yeah. They were like, we love the way you talk about AIDS and incorporate it into gnocchi recipes.
Yeah, but no, apparently, yeah. So we show up, and where is it? Some fucking clam bar in Hoboken.
Yeah, some hotel bar.
Yeah, so some clam bar. They're testing.
They took you to a clam
I'm
bar.
like, are all 12 of us going to host this show?
Right, so we meet these fuckers the night before.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
We had
yeah,
a
yeah.
dinner.
Yeah.
They go, you're all going to meet each other. We want you to get to know each other because tomorrow we're going to start screen testing you. We're going to start filming you at this restaurant, eating food and reviewing it.
you had
together.
to go Hoboken twice.
We got a Hoboken
Yeah.
twice.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And they were like, we want you to review the food together and, be funny. We were there to be funny.
Yeah.
And
We were the only comics there too. It was
Right.
mostly like aspiring.
And the show was going to be called Hot Spots.
yeah.
And
Now you think aspiring comics are sad? At least there's like a self-awareness there.
Yeah.
You know? People know what's going on.
Absolutely.
There's no, but there's a lot of these are like aspiring food personalities.
What do you like? Just like divorced moms?
Yeah.
it was every archetype from the Food Network,
Right.
but the bootleg
It's a good
version.
word, archetype.
Like you had the Paula Dean, you had the like fat party guy who would have been like kind of like an Emerald-esque guy who was
Yeah.
like, yeah, bam, party on.
That guy was probably unhealthier than you are.
Yeah, I mean, and so was the Paula Dean.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I just had my blood done. I'm healthy. When I told the doctor I went to, I'm like, all the numbers came back good. He literally went and he looked at me and went, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's, life ain't fair.
Yeah.
They had a,
Francine was the Paula Dean lady.
yeah,
okay.
Francine was a big, chubby Southern woman.
And she's just like dropping actual M-bombs all day.
I wish.
Not,
It would
yeah,
have
that
been
would've
entertaining.
She would say things like, what y'all mean? You never had a redneck grilled cheese?
Yeah.
And we'd be
You
like,
never
"Wait,"
had squirrel.
and we'd be
Squirrel
like,
pie?
what's a redneck grilled cheese? And she'd be like, well, it's grilled cheese, macaroni and cheese, pulled pork, bacon, deep fried with sriracha mayonnaise, rolled in a burrito. It was like a dumb, like it was like a stunt food.
Yeah.
Then she tells the story. She's like, I had a heart attack a few years ago, and I realized that life is too short, and I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm gonna bake, and I'm gonna eat pies. So it's like you had a heart attack, and what you took away from that was eat more pie.
She goes, I'm going to live the way I want to live.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah. And then there was this snobby guy named Billy who was like a snob.
I almost fought that guy.
Yeah. Mike almost hit him.
Yeah.
That guy, I kind of liked him because he was like a real cunt. Like I sat down and he's like, what restaurant do you really like in the city right now? And I just gone to Carbone. I'm like, I really like Carbone. And he looks at me, he's like, yeah, that wouldn't even be in my top 100. So I was like, oh, thank you, you fucking cunt. But he was a guy that wanted to be a comedian.
Yeah.
And then tried that out for a year or whatever. And then started hosting events. He's like, I'm going to be the guy that hosts. And he made good money.
Right.
Like hosting events. Like when a bunch
Like
of
bar mitzvahs?
No, like a bunch of chefs would get together for a fucking thing. And Billy would go up and like be kind of funny up top and then introduce them to talk.
Yeah.
You know?
Can Shannon find that video of that Muffalicious video?
Wait, which video was
Daphne's video? Because that was the other
that?
lady.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's try to find that. We'll there was another lady
There's
named...
Muffalicious?
Yeah.
Was it a cunt food? Like,
It was like a sketch that she made
oh.
that we...
Yeah.
Oh, like eat my
watched
muff?
before.
kinda thing?
Dude, this lady... Was she the mommy blogger, Daphne?
She was the mommy blogger, yeah.
Her husband, what was he doing? I remember her husband was like...
So her husband was like a big chef or something. And
Yeah.
like, I sat next to him and I'm like, oh, are you Daphne's husband? Because
Yeah.
we're all like together.
Who
and
is
he's
Paula
like,
Dean? Because I think we're confused. Because who's Paula
Francine
Dean?
was Paula
Francine
Dean.
was fatty.
Yeah.
And then Daphne was like this mommy vlogger. She'd like upload videos of her and her kids, and she'd be like, "Aren't the cupcakes good?" And the kids would be like, "Leave me alone."
yeah, and I guess her husband is like a pretty big like chef or something in
Yeah.
LA or whatever.
Something, whatever.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
you caught him like watching porn or something.
What?
No, well,
Oh.
first I was like, "Are you Daphne's husband?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get a name tag that says I'm Daphne's husband."
Oh yeah.
You know, and then a bunch of people saw him like watching porn on his iPhone. He's
Just watching
just
somebody
sit-
get pounded out
yeah,
while his wife screen tests for probably the 20th food show.
Right.
And they keep passing her out. We're there's this chick named Candace, very attractive,
Yeah.
pretty attractive, like Asian chick, and she was like, we would like, Francine would be talking about like, she'd be like, I love pudding pie, and Candace would be, I'm really focusing on eating whole. And I really like whole foods and being one and well and wellness. She's like, I'm into real wellness and everything. And
And then Tim was smoking a cigarette outside. He goes, "Hey, Candace, remember when we turned your people into dust?"
I thought it was funny.
I mean, yeah.
It was really
Was she
cool.
even Japanese?
There was like a cool black chef, like a young, cool, hip black chef from
Yeah.
like Portland. It was
Yes.
that guy.
He was
you know?
cool. He was
a
cool.
nice guy.
Yeah.
He was cool.
Did they end up making the show?
No,
Food Network passed on it.
they passed on it.
What was the gimmick?
There was no real show there. It was like we
was
all
like-
go into town, three of us. We each pick a hot spot and like debate each other. Like, you think that's a hot spot? I got a hot spot. You know?
Oh, okay.
You know?
And then we all just do meth.
I don't know what it was, but it was exhausting.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Well, they sent us an email. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna take 6 months, and you can we're gonna film a pilot." So they made it sound like in the email like they were gonna pay our bills for like 6 months. That was back when I thought anything
But when anything
good was ever
mattered,
gonna
that
happen
was
in
when
this
we like
business. Yeah,
Yeah, that was when that was back in the time when you'd be like, "Oh, wow, like things are happening."
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And now you're just like, no matter what anybody tells you,
Yeah.
you don't give it. Like Martin Scorsese could be like, "You're both going to be in a movie," and we'd be like, "Yeah, whatever."
What? Yeah.
Yeah. You're still working, huh, Marty? You're still doing shit.
Right.
Are you going to save us? That's who's going to save us. But
Yeah. Nothing good happens to anybody.
really, no.
Yeah.
And you know, if it's good, it's like everything else. It's ephemeral. It's on its way out. But I remember sitting there, and you were exhausted. I was exhausted. I was smoking. I was like going outside to smoke cigarettes. It was a fat chef.
Yeah.
And he was like, we were outside. He's like, "Hope I get this." I'm like, he's like, "It'd be great, man." He's like traveling around the country eating. He looks at me. He goes like this. He goes, "That's the dream. Is that not the dream?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess."
Now, are these people? You guys aren't the chef ones, but all these other people, are they working chefs at this point, or are they just failed chefs?
Some of them are. Some of them are like food reviewers. Some of them are like bloggers. They're all in this food world. There was that one chick, Lauren.
I was gonna say Lauren Scala from Taxi
Scala
TV.
From Taxi TV. She's like a good-looking chick who's always like, "Today I'm at Momofuku Milk Bar and having ice cream," you know. And I guess she's a food journalist.
That seems like an extravagant term for that.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, she's doing as much journalism as the rest of these idiots right now. You know, probably more. But she was nice.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, we were the only ones that had a podcast, and we were the only ones that were fucking like.
But they kept pulling us aside and being like, "Oh, you know, Food Network likes you guys. You're very honest."
Yeah, they kept telling us.
They
They're
kept,
like, and it's also, how did they know?
So what was your like? All right, so they have all you guys here. When it was your time to like do your screen test, what were you guys doing?
Well, Tim went downstairs and they were like, "What's a hotspot to you?" And he was like, "I think a hotspot is when you call to make a reservation. They tell you to kill yourself."
Yes, and they're like, I go like that. I go, "I think a hotspot is when you try to get in. The maitre d' tells you to kill yourself." And they go, "Okay, do it again, but don't say kill yourself." So I go, "All right." I was like, "I think a hotspot is when you try to get in, and maitre d' tells you to commit suicide." They're like, no. The whole killing yourself angle, bad, right?
It is nice that there's a world like sadder than stand-up comedy.
It is,
because,
yeah.
Like, there's a guy
Except
named
all those people at houses, but keep going on. Probably. But keep going.
We got each other though.
That's true.
Yeah.
But did you guys like test together?
No.
No, they mixed
They
it
got
up.
3 of us down at a time.
So they liked the chemistry of the show, so they separated you and brought you in.
They were trying to right, exactly.
But imagine showing up and there's 12 people there and they're like, "We don't want you guys to think this is some sort of cutthroat, you know."
I just love,
like,
dude,
well, there's
the
only gonna be
excitement, like
3.
the excitement. So the dinner the night before is at some shithole in Hoboken, and everybody's getting excited about the food. It's like embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Like me and Mike were like embarrassed.
Everybody's kind of testing out their food knowledge.
How
Yeah,
bad was it?
everybody-
Like, what were they giving
Dude,
you?
they were like, it was mac and cheeseburgers. It was bad. It was like it was straight up Jersey food, like wings and like tuna tartare with like fucking soy drizzle, and it was like fucking a higher grade Applebee's.
Yeah.
And these people were like, what I really like about the mac is so creamy, and it's a perfect contrast with the crunch. And I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up, you pathetic.
Did you just call
fool.
it out as being trash?
We kind of were being more like that, you know?
I think so. Yeah, I think I tried to make a joke with somebody and it just didn't go over.
Yeah, we weren't hitting.
Yeah, no.
People weren't really into it. People weren't hitting, and
Remember when we turned your people into dust?
I thought it was funny.
Is she Japanese?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She was like, "You got to go to Japan." I'm like, "I don't have." That was back when I had like no money.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any money now, but I had really no money then. Like I like literally that was back when I was like, "Do I have enough to get to this?" She's like, "You got to go to Japan." And I'm like, I can't afford to get home. I literally. Did they even pay us for that?
No.
No, right?
Did they offer? Like, was that implied?
I guess
You don't really
kind of,
get
yeah.
paid for screen test, do you?
No, you do not. You do not. They bought us some food. We got some, and the food wasn't good, and you had to keep eating it, pretending it was other types of food.
What, day 2, what was the food like? Was it different
It
food?
was just clam bar shit.
Yeah, it was like
It's calamari.
catered.
It was
Yeah,
fine.
bagels and.
But then they would be like, you got to pretend it's like something else. They bring out
They
like,
couldn't even get, because there's like tons of like decent restaurants that are trying to get a buzz going. They
Yeah.
could have set up and like, hey, we'll use you on the show if you guys let us do screen tests here. But they bring you with some shit clam bar.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that any restaurant is going to really bite on that unless they know the project's going somewhere.
Well, some
'Cause
lady
so
came in
many-
from the
yeah.
some lady came in from the Food Network, and they were like, "Oh, this is whatever Jennifer from Food Network," and she like wasn't even smiling. You know, just like a
Yeah, she
blank
was like
face.
not happy.
Yeah,
They're like, this is Jennifer.
Well,
from
because I
Food Network.
imagine this is like an outside production company. So the outside production company sets this up. It's like, hey, why don't you send Jennifer down? She can look.
Yeah.
And she gets there with some shit clam bar of you clowns.
We went.
but in what world are we going to be on the Food Network?
Never.
I mean, they don't.
They're not having us.
Yeah.
I remember we went to fucking that bakery with Francine.
Yeah.
What's that bakery?
Carla's Bakery.
We went to
the
fucking
Cake Boss.
Cake Boss.
Yeah.
We went to that bakery with Francine.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll have 4 lobster claws. I'll have. She's like, I have a cannoli. And she's like,
They just brought
it's
her out in a
good.
wheelbarrow, like,
And
at
we're
the end of the
eating it,
shoot.
and like, listen, that food's whatever.
Yeah.
That big, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
fucking whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, there's also not a huge variance between great cannolis and bad. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
sure.
it's fine. But like, she was like over the moon. It's like, oh, it's so good. She was a big pig. I wonder what's going on with her now. Did you find that video, Shannon, where we
Let's
basically,
Google to see if she's alive.
what was her name? Francine Wheeler? No.
Something like that. I don't know.
Francine something. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't Wheeler. It was Francine. Yeah, Shannon.
I have three videos that come up with that name.
Was it
I'll
Muff
show
Eaters?
you. I don't know if it's one of those.
It was with an I, Muffi, Muffi. Dude, Muffalicious Daphne.
It's supposed to be like a
Yeah,
muffalata.
Daphne
Brogdon.
Daphne Brogdon.
It's supposed to be like
And
a
then let's Google Candace Kumai. Let's do them all. Yeah, Muffinlicious. Put on Muffinlicious.
There's a thing with her and her sexual deviant.
And guess what? I mean, I guess that, working out
attractive,
once a
though.
week
pretty.
and
Oh, she's
only
not the
occasional
fat one.
bagels is working because
I know.
I finally got into my size 26 jeans. Look.
Yeah. Dude, it's like the
Go
kids
shop and
clearly
get me
don't want to
some
be involved
new
in the
small
videos.
clothes. I don't want to be cut by society's norms. I'm a mom and my muff was born. Muffalicious. Muffalicious. Muffalicious.
Wait, is this
Like,
what-
here's the thing. Like,
I
I
don't
like
get the is the muff like her muffin top or is it her damn fat snatch?
Her
Like, what's
muffin.
her muffin top.
Yeah.
all right?
Muffinlicious rap.
I didn't even think of
Listen,
that.
there's nobody that gives less of a shit about cultural appropriation than me, but there is something gross about a suburban mom rapping
Rapping, yeah.
about muffins, Muffinlicious. Muffinlicious.
She's not even like into it.
Yeah, you almost want now. Can you YouTube Candace Kumai? Let's see what she's up to. I bet all these people are doing much better than us, by the way. Then at the end, you YouTube me and Mike, and you just get this. You get the live stream to this. Candace Kumai.
Japanese. It says the Japanese.
Here we go. Spicy miso tahini ramen. Yeah. She's still in the game.
She's on Dr. Oz.
She's on Dr. Oz. Jesus.
What is he? Is he Armenian
She's
or
doing
Lebanese?
good.
What's his fucking gimmick?
I don't know. What is the Francine?
It was Francine. It might have been Wheeler. I don't know.
Google Francine Southern Chef.
Yeah.
We could probably find the emails, right? But she's not on the emails. Francine Southern Chef. Baking. She won. Francine was a baker. There we go.
I think that's her.
That's her. Shannon's got it up. I love Shannon. Look at that. It's just a
It's just
picture
a.
of a cake.
It's just a.
Look at this fat idiot.
It's just a memorial page.
Hold on, dude. Let's see if we can get her. She almost won a show, like a reality show about food. I forget which one.
Was it like home invasion cooking? That's a show.
a
We fucking
website.
have these white suburban moms and they get home invaded and have to cook for the guys home invaded.
That's a great idea. Home invasion. There you go. Meet Francine is the author of the best-selling Blue Ribbon Baking from a Redneck Kitchen.
Holding a
These
pecan
people
pie
act like
a
it's an
moron.
identity.
It really is,
Like,
yeah.
like being a slob is an identity.
Yeah, she was a crowd favorite on CBS's The American Baking Competition because of her unabashed use of the N-word.
Well, how come they can say it but we can't?
This is a cake.
Real double standard there now.
This is a cake in the shape of the rebel flag.
It's like for 4th of July, those berry cakes
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Cool Whip. But it's like
I
it's the
delivered a
stars.
cake personally to Roy Moore. Told him not to lose heart. Francine Bryson.
Where's she from? Would they tell her? Alabama?
I don't know. Some
Yeah, I
southern
think so.
place.
Yeah.
Now Billy. What about Billy? What was Billy's name? Billy Food Guy. Billy.
It started with an F.
Yeah, go on YouTube, Shannon, and or Google or something, and search Billy Food Host. You'll be able to find that guy. Wonder what he's up to. Good old Billy. No,
I got Billy Bashir.
no. This guy was like he's like a hipstery guy. The black rim glasses.
Yeah.
Real. You hated him. He was like obnoxious.
What did he do to you?
Yeah, he was a cunt. I mean, he just like he was talking about Barbuto, and they were
Yeah.
like, Mike, tell him where the good Italian food is. And I was like, I like Italian food that's more simple. And he like said
not that,
something
Shen.
about, I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, well, Mike, you're an animal.
What like you?
Yeah.
I'm sure you like. What are good Italian restaurants in the tri-state area?
I like Sam's in
It's great.
Cobble Hill.
That's a great-
stuff
listen.
like that. I mean, that's more of like an Italian.
This guy wanted to be
experience.
this guy. When you become a food snob like that, and I've never been that guy. I'm kind of I understand it.
Yeah.
When you become a snob like that, you really think that like your opinion is like a mark of value. You know what I mean? And it's really like it's really like that's not. You know, I mean, you just got back from New Orleans, some of the best food in the country.
Best food I ever had in my life.
Yeah, and it is a very casual.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. Like we're in Luke, which is like some really nice place, has some amazing drumfish, and the guy's like, it's down to earth. They don't give a shit. They gave us a free bread pudding. You know, they're not being assholes about it.
Yeah.
You go to some of these places, and they're all like, you know, like I went to that place in Little Italy, and we got those lobster raviolis. I'm like, these are very good. And you look at me like I was a fat fuck.
Yeah, but that's New York. You can't take New York out of that. You know what I mean? Like New York's not supposed to be like they're not supposed to act like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some fat slob comes in and tells you the thing you've been serving for 30 years is good. Listen to me. That's real good. Rah! Yeah, you can get out of here.
Right.
They're like, you this fat piece of shit.
Yeah.
They used to, let me tell you, me and my friends used to go out. They used to seat us. There was a restaurant called the Cirque. They would seat us because they hated us. They would seat us by the kitchen. And every time the kitchen door would open, it would hit our table. Yeah. They wanted us out. And me and my friends thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Thought it was great. Yeah. Because my friend would just get hammered. My friend would be like, look around. He's like, they're not wrong. You know, but they can't legally stop us from being there. So it is that. I mean, that's what New York is. I mean, it is what it is, you know, but.
Right.
But other
That's
than
like we went to Park Avenue Autumn that one
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
and
yeah.
I wore like the one sweater that I had just to
Yeah.
you know. And then you showed up like you always do, like
like a flannel shirt.
that you found in the garbage. And, yeah.
I look
My
like
uncle works here.
I look like an angry lesbian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yelling the name
Like an
Dillon.
angry lesbian gym teacher.
Right.
Who was like had it, you know?
It's Dillon. Did you hear that? It's Dillon.
We're doing the Marine Physical Fitness Test today.
You told me that story one time. Your uncle started choking a guy at the
One of my uncles.
Walensky's.
Yeah, one of my uncles, Tommy, who's a real he's a real
The IRA.
Oh yeah, the IRA guy. He's out of his mind. Like so he's just a lunatic, right? So the guy's like a lunatic. Like he's literally we were at some like party over the summer, and he's like he's talking about like the people that work at his company, like they're like Jewish people, and he's like, you know, we're not making a lot of money, and maybe those guys, maybe little Herschel doesn't get to go to summer camp this year. I'm like, is Herschel even a Jewish name? Like, I'm like, I know what he's trying to do, you know, but like, he's like flipping burgers. He's got a Make America Great Again hat on. You know, he's out of his mind. So he went to a restaurant, one of the restaurants my uncle's associated with, and just got in some fight with a guy about fucking Britain and Ireland. Like, you know what I mean? Like, which, by the way, this guy's raised in America, in Long Island, very wealthy area of Long Island. Other than of going to Ireland and probably getting drunk and being a nuisance there, has done zero for Ireland.
Well, they did to poor Michael Collins.
Yeah, but he just like you know what I mean? Like he's like, we got to go to a dinner for the cause. It's like, what are you talking about? So
The troubles.
He got into the troubles. He thinks he's Bono, so he got into some argument with some guy at a bar and like choked the guy. They had to like call the cops. Like my uncle didn't talk to him for like almost a year. My uncle's like, dude, I'm fucking
Was that at his
here.
bar?
Yeah.
At the Maloney.
Jeez, I'm alone.
Yeah, my uncle was like, you can't. It's like my uncle went into work the next day and like nobody knew.
Did
how
they
to
arrest
tell
Tommy from there?
I don't know. Nobody knew how to tell him. They were like, "Oh, your brother was in last night." My uncle's like, "Oh yeah, what do you sit down? You have a couple of drinks." They're like, "We had a situation."
Maybe that's why they enslaved you people.
Yeah, listen, they weren't wrong.
Yeah.
But New Orleans, other than New York, is like the only city to create a food.
Yeah.
like a type of food.
Chicago's good. Chicago's got a lot of.
Chicago's
good
fine, but I
restaurants.
don't think they created like a genre food. Like New Orleans has Creole that they created,
Yeah,
and then New York is like the Jewish deli cuisine. Plus, all American Chinese food emanates from Lower East Side of Manhattan.
We had some lady,
All of that, you know,
one of our
and
Uber-
probably most modern Italian food.
One of our Uber drivers was telling us. Now, she was also telling us about how lamenting the General Lee statue coming down and how she used to paint it as a child. So I'm not saying she's the best source, but she was telling us about how like this whole Creole thing started because they used to have a pot. And then they were like, day one, they put the meat in the pot because the Indians or whatever. And then day two, like it starts to turn, so they like put spices in. And then day three, they add more spices, and then they dump it out because they only eat meat on Fridays. So it's interesting to see is that fusion because they all came from the north. Not gonna give you a history lesson, but the point is, it's this.
I love like in the middle of this, she's like, "Honey, listen, I know it's hot out, but you got to put your penis in your pants." Right? Like, what? What do you mean? Keep talking about Creole food, honey. You got to put your penis in your pants. Yeah, I liked New Orleans when I was there a lot. I dug it. I'm going back in a few days. I liked it, but
You go to Commander's Palace.
I did. I had dinner Commanders. I liked it a lot. I'm now at the point where it's very hard for me to do long dinners. And I used to love a long dinner. I can't do a long dinner anymore. Like Commanders, you sit there like 15 minutes before they come near you, which is like lovely if you're that type of person. But I'm already like everything I had to say, I've said in the Uber. I don't stop talking all day.
Yeah.
So eating is literally just eating. Like most people don't say, and then they wait to dinner and they're like, "Here's what I think." You know, like I just sit there and stare at a person. But I liked Commanders. I went and I got some oysters there. You do the oysters?
I got char-grilled oysters
char-broiled
with
oysters.
the Acme for those.
Yeah,
I got a po' boy also. It was just
Soft
a whole
shell crab, right?
a whole stuffed shell crab just on a sandwich.
Yeah, that's what they have. They have that in Long Island. They do that soft shell crab sandwich.
And
I thought it's out of season though, or is
It's
it
out
always
of season in Long Island.
Oh, okay.
it is. I mean, I know one place that, but it was great. Went to Brennan's a couple times.
Brennan's
went for brunch
great.
and dinner.
You go to Willa Jean.
No, I know that that's
That's
big,
good,
and
yeah.
you know, I mean, you can't do it. That's a city you can
No.
go back. You could just keep. It's like New York.
Yeah.
Like somebody would be like on my tour bus, they'd be like, "What's the one place you got to go in New York?" I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
You can't be that dumb."
I tell you, I got the pralines. The pralines, I don't. It's just they're fine, but they're very sugary.
What are you talking about?
Those praline candies everyone's selling down there.
I feel the same way about beignets.
But the beignets were phenomenal. Though.
Yeah,
They were.
to me, the beignet is like, what are we doing?
I liked it. It was
Hey.
firm. Did you go to
like
Cafe
a
Du
donut.
Monde?
Yeah, but the beignet is a beignet at the Norwood
We
Club
do
in New York
things a
Street.
little different down here, boys.
I just-
we got fried dough.
Yeah, it's like it's
with some
kind of
sugar on top.
It's like a little carnival shit. It's like
Yeah.
here's my thing with a beignet. I have a few bites of it, and then I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
you know.
I ate 4 of them.
I like the gumbo.
Gumbo was
Gumbo's
great.
good.
I
The
like
turtle
gumbo.
soup is
Turtle
good.
soup was good.
Yeah.
It's fun. It was good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
different.
Didn't really taste like anything different.
It's just green.
Yeah.
You know?
Yours was green. Mine wasn't even green.
Mine wasn't green either, but it was
Like
just
brown.
kind of like weird, hue of brown. But I like the. I thought it was fun down there, man. That eggs Hussard at Brendan's may be
that
one of
was-
my favorite breakfast dishes I've ever had.
Best breakfast ever.
It's an eggs Benedict, but they just a really deep, concentrated, like demi glaze, like
They
sauce.
steep it for like 2 days or some shit.
So good. I was big into that.
and you get the fried oysters on top. It was,
Yeah, it's
so
great.
good.
It's great.
This is why the food podcast didn't work though, because it is kind of boring. Just
boring.
talking about
What are
what
you
you
gonna
like
do?
to eat. Yeah.
It's just that's what it is.
Strip clubs were great though. I was online for the crab place.
Yeah.
And I managed to sneak away to get a lap dance while my mom was waiting online.
Ooh, lucky strippers.
Yeah. I just wanted to. I was on the phone.
You walk in, they're all like pulling straws in the back. Like, who's taking him?
One of them got stuck in Ray's
Yeah.
body.
They're like, I'll take the guy that stabbed the last chick. Really? Yeah, well, I'll take my chances with that guy.
Well, I was on the phone
calling Commander's Palace trying to make a reservation, which I didn't get because they don't answer the goddamn phone.
They don't give a shit over there.
So I'm like in the Penthouse Club. I'm buying a drink. I'm just drinking this drink and trying to get this too noisy. So I'm like,
That's the perfect example of New Orleans. There's a place called the Penthouse Club, and you're in there. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I go, it's like 6 o'clock. So I'm like, what is this? It's $1 cover. I'm like, all right, well, here's $1. And I go in, there's like one stripper in the back. It's a classy looking place.
oh yeah, I'm sure.
And so, like, whatever. And
They're classy. They got seats and everything.
I'm on the phone, and like she starts rubbing her tits in my face, and it was nice. And so,
Where's your mother at this point?
She was online.
You went with your mother.
I know, but she was online for the huge line for this oyster place.
That's so fun. I know it's very popular.
And then she wanted to go back. So I went back, and then later on, before I went back to Frenchman Street, I went to a different strip club, and this one it was like the seedier one.
Yeah, nice.
And they were like pawing at me and like jumping on me for money. And at one point, she's like,
just cats. He's just in an alley.
She's like,
and they're pawing on me, jumping on me, and then they were all furry and little. They were little and furry women. Very strange.
They weren't like the one. I go in there, and the woman on stage was not the most attractive, but these two black girls, but she had me sitting between them, and they were just like, jumping on me. And she goes, "You want to see a trick?" And like, put $20 in my back of my underwear. And I did.
Jesus, quit.
And she starts.
Oh, I thought you said that to her. Put $20 in the back of my swamp ass. If you can find the back of my underwear and put U.S. currency in it. This is great.
So she pulls it to the side, and the trick was she starts just puckering her asshole, which I was like. I mean, it wasn't traditionally attractive. It wasn't like but
back and forth.
Yeah. Just the filth of it was great, though. I like,
Listen.
I went to a strip club once in San Diego because it was like, comedy. You have like the whole day to kill.
Yeah.
So you got to find something to do. And
Yeah.
I went at like noon, and I was the only person there. And
Saint Germain was probably there.
And Spirit
He loves them. He
Really?
loves those places.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to go to like we were in San Diego, and he's like, it was like Halloween night. I'm like, dude, let's just go back to the hotel. He's like, I think I want to go see some ladies. I'm like, it's like.
Did he
12.
make it real dramatic too?
Yeah, I'm like, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. He says to some guy, he's like, where's the strip club? And the guy's like, a real good one's like 45 minutes away. Dan's like, he looks at me, Dan goes, I'll pay for the Uber. I'm like, I am not going with you to a strip club an hour from our hotel right now.
Yeah.
Only bad things will happen. Dan, only bad things will happen.
Yeah, because what is he even making on that weekend to pay for a
forget that. What's going to happen when he gets to the strip club? Is he going to order a doctor?
He's going to sit there and be a gentleman.
He'll be a gentleman, and he'll order a spring
He'll
water.
He'll have some witty anecdotes.
Yeah, there won't be Coke on the table within 5 minutes, you know?
Did I ever tell you a story about how that stripper tricked me into coming on my pants?
No.
Yeah. So like I went to after a party once. I was working.
Why do you have a Band-Aid on your pointer finger?
I cut my finger in the bathroom of Acme Oyster Bar.
Continue.
All right. So on the lock. I don't know.
All right.
So this is years ago. I used to work with this DJ company with this guy from Ghana. I won't say his name, but he was a funny dude. He was a charming guy. Whatever. We go to this like strip club that was just like mafia run. Everyone says, and it was just fat, very fat woman, like fat as up me and Tim, and just sitting there. They loved him. These two, like him and his cousin, these two black guys. They loved the fat women. That's whatever. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there bored. Then we go to another strip club. I'm gonna cut a lot of the middle out, but we go in there and just coke that bar.
Thank you.
No, but like we go in there and the first thing this chick does, she looks at us, like just poking her finger at her nose, like, "Oh, you guys are my coke dealer?" Like, no, we're not. We don't have coke. Like, sorry. Francis tells her it's my birthday, and so she comes up. I just wanted a lap dance.
Reg has a bag of powdered sugar in his bag. That's why she thought.
Just poems.
So this whole like awkward thing. I was getting a lap dance. She's like, "Oh, I'll tell you it's your birthday." I'm like, nah. And long story short, she's like, "All right, so I was 50 for a blowjob, 100 for the fuck because it's my birthday." And like, I just wanted a lap dance.
It was her birthday.
My birthday.
Your birthday.
Yeah. I didn't want to spend the money. So
it's my birthday.
And I'm like, I don't.
It's my party.
I just wanted to spend the 40.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Well, I don't get any of that." I'm like, "I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I don't get any of that."
So she's like, "Fine."
The economics of this operation are not my concern.
So she's like, "Fine, you can jerk off in my mouth."
Oh.
And I'm like, all right. I mean, I'm not going to say no to that. It's kind of weird, but like, all right. So we go into this beaded room. It's not like really a closed off room. It's the shitty 70s beads. And I'm sitting there, and I pull my cock out, and I start jerking off. And she's not doing anything sexy. She's just kind of looking at me going,
It's the rumor Travis Bickle killed all those people.
And so I'm just jerking off for a minute or two, like while she's just kind of like nodding off and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come. And she's like, I'm gonna come. And she like, I start coming, and she's like, oh god, it's a lot, come. And she jumps back, and I come all over my khakis.
What kind of food did they serve?
I think they had wings and a muff.
Did the cum come out in slow motion or something? How did she have time to say that?
I don't know. She reacted weird,
Yeah.
but I think they made a good muffalata sandwich there.
I'll tell you this, man.
Is there a strip club equivalent for you?
Gay strip clubs?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are. I mean, I haven't been to a ton. I've been to a few. They're kind of crazy. I mean, when you're sober, I don't drink.
Yeah.
So to kind of go sober to any of those environments when you're sober, it's just kind of weird. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is it true?
And I would rather just try to meet somebody to hook up with than like stare at a guy in a thong.
How easy is it? I'm not saying most guys want to do this, but like if you just want that grimy bathroom tug job from another gay guy.
I mean, I don't know.
Have you ever gone to those in the porn shop, the video boots?
No, I don't do that.
Because I used to go to this place, another place. It was off the expressway, and it was like another mob joint, I think. And
the mob's falling, huh?
They used to have pee boots in the back of this shitty.
It's a bunch of guys in the mafia like, all right, what's our business model? You walk in, hey, I want to see something. I'm on my break from the morgue. I want to see some live tit, please. Thank you very much. Then I'm going to get sausage and peppers at the food truck on 110. The mob's like, we used to own Vegas. Now this is literally how far we've fallen.
Hey, but it had like peep boots in the back. It wasn't like a full strip club. But then you could jerk off on the glass or buy a lap dance. I would jerk off on the glass a couple of times. I only went a few times. But it was always packed, the parking lot. But there was no one in there. And I realized, because like it was all on the other wing of the place, was like video booths where the gay guys would blow each other.
There's a world of that. I've never been involved in that. Like I've never gone to a video booth. I've never gone to like a bath house. Except me and Ari Shafir went to the baths and did like a
actual
sauna.
Turkish baths, yeah.
Yeah, but like I've never gone to like those. I think I was always a little paranoid and weirded out about like AIDS and shit like that because I think that like, and I think if you have like Grindr and you have things like that, you should be able to meet people to meet and hook up with, and you shouldn't really have to like.
You don't worry about AIDS with that though.
I mean, I do, but I think it's a little bit more, reasonable than like going just some totally anonymous interaction.
The idea of a guy who will just start sucking a dick that comes through a toilet hole is a little less discerning than a guy, on Grindr going like, hey, I could fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was never also that turned on by that idea. I was never turned on by like a glory hole or any of that. That didn't do it for me.
And at least the guy on Grindr has like a wife and a family.
That,
he's got to get tested for.
Yeah, he's like a guy. He's like a. I mean, he's in House of Cards. Poor Kevin Spacey. That's nobody ever.
What a
says
good
that.
actor. Yeah.
I mean,
you hear Gabriel Byrne?
Well,
Gabriel Byrne was saying that, like you said today or yesterday, that like apparently they had to shut down production on Usual Suspects for a while because of his sexual shit. They didn't go into detail about it.
I mean, can you imagine being an actor
It's so
in the
weird that
90s? How, like, we're going to look back at the 90s. Like, the 80s, everyone was a pedophile pretty much in Hollywood. And then the 90s was just, like, probably just that times 20. Like, people just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like,
in the 80s, everybody fucked Corey Feldman.
Everybody. Like,
just passed
well, just the
around.
whole thing is, like, people would be like,
He was such a good actor, too.
Who?
Corey Feldman, like, as a kid.
He was fine.
He had a lot of...
But you know what? At the end of the day, it's just like, it's good all this stuff's coming out. It's a different world now. Kevin Spacey's probably like, man, I'm glad I came up at the time that I came up in.
Yeah, I mean, he did have
he molested that kid in, like, 91,
Well,
right?
Kevin
Right.
Spacey's dad was a Nazi who molested him, supposedly. That's what his brother said. His brother said his dad was an actual Nazi.
Like in the German army Nazi?
No, Ray, but like a sympathizer. Like a real deal one.
So he's not like my grandpa.
No, not like Pop. Not like Poppy. Ray did a show once where he goes out to UCB. He does this. He gets off stage. He's like, I don't know why that bombed. He goes like
I
this.
didn't bomb.
He goes like this.
I had a good set overall.
That's joke bombed. And he goes like this. He goes, my grandfather was a Nazi. And then he goes like this. He goes, he didn't do anything. He just drove the truck. Which is like the worst
That's
thing.
not
like,
exactly the
it's
joke.
like the truck of what? Bodies to the fucking... What are you talking about? The truck of people to the train or the truck of bodies to the landfill? Like, what are you doing?
That joke did pretty well a lot of the time. Very well. And you're also you're mischaracterizing it. But I don't do it anymore.
I'm sure your grandpa's in heaven right now.
but so Kevin Spacey's dad was a bad dude.
Yeah.
And he that's unfortunately,
It makes me wonder, are we getting rid of all the talented people?
Here's the thing: we're kind of getting rid of the people that are really out of control, abusers. That which is good. But here's the other thing: real talent comes from a dark place in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are trying to sanitize everything. Now they want some painting at the Met down because it glorifies fucking pedophilia because it's a younger girl. And it's here's the deal. I just don't understand if we're going to go and sanitize art and pretend that these things don't exist. Can we represent things without saying that they're glorified or that we're not encouraging people to sympathize with it? We're just saying this is a fucking fact of life for years. Right. It was not inappropriate.
And what art didn't glorify young nubile? They're all little girls and boys and dicks hanging out.
Listen, it will never stop. That's the thing. If you go back through all movies, through television with a checklist of 2017 values and go, is everything that we believe now reflected? There should be. That's not the way you should. Camille Paglia had a great point. That's not the way you should look at art.
Right.
There should be a reaction. There should be an emotional, a visceral reaction. It shouldn't be. Sure. You shouldn't be going through it with a fucking checklist. And
these there's no movies that were ever made that were in a time when it was cool to fuck kids. But these paintings, 1500, 1400 fucking Greeks. These are probably made at the time when it was cool to fuck a 14-year-old.
But then in the 2040s, what are going to be the things that are cool now, but aren't going to be okay?
Podcasts.
Yeah.
Remember?
They're going to expunge all the podcasts.
Men would speak into microphones and nobody.
And 4 people would listen.
Yeah, and they would put their episodes out online so that anyone could hear them and they didn't have to go through the sensitivity council. Do you remember that? We were living in the Wild West.
That was before they put Lindy West in charge of the commission.
Lindy West.
Is she the one that was beating up the guys at Abu Ghraib?
No, that's Lindy England.
Oh.
Lindy West is the chubby fucking feminist writer at the time.
No, that one did something with her.
Yeah, Lindy, the one who worked at Abu Ghraib is a fucking, hero. They're shooting House of Cards. You're going to do it with just fucking Claire, and it's
It's going to be terrible.
It was bad last season.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Right.
And it's not bad because she's a fucking woman. It's good. Spacey was the glue.
Right.
And she was phenomenal. But it's are you going to say that The Sopranos is good without Tony? No.
Just put Carmela in charge of the mob.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Right.
Do another show.
That actually would be a good show, Carmela running the family.
Yeah, that would be another great show. But you don't start, you know what I mean? You don't go into the last show and go, we're just going to have, what are they going to do now? They're going to kill him off and some,
Yeah.
They already did an assassination attempt last season.
So here's the thing with Kevin Spacey, right? So a guy like that, right?
What's he doing right now?
Yeah.
Getting blown.
He's probably just all in. What is Matt Lauer doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Can he go to a restaurant? Can he?
Not for a while.
He's probably not gonna. You know what? And they can all go to Europe,
Right.
Yeah.
South America,
Yeah,
Chile.
they could go anywhere, and they could probably go most places in this
Just cool
country
off
and
for a
not
little
get
bit.
bothered.
Yeah.
What is Louis doing right now?
I don't know.
Making a new season of Horace and Pete.
You know what he's doing? Making room for the next wave of female comedians.
That's
that are, yeah.
My aunt said to me, she's like, all these
female.
comics are like Louis, they're going. That means guys like you are. I'm like, that's not what it means.
No, yeah.
That's not what it means. I love that. That is most people's understanding of the world. But I'm like, that's never been what it. That's not how success happens. But that's people's fantasies of success.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the childlike understanding we have of success. Well, now they'll need someone to fill in.
Someone's got to go to Giant Stadium and watch comedy.
Really, the more realistic thing is somebody somewhere is about Kevin Spacey, somebody's got to fuck these kids now. We got to make money. That's the more realistic.
The colonel's like, our bottom line is getting hurt.
Yeah. Nobody's we need new people in House of Cards. Yeah. But they're we got to pick up the slack on the other end.
How did Spacey hide that he wasn't gay then for that
Everybody knew he was gay.
Yeah.
But nobody wrote about it because the media didn't want to be seen as outing people or whatever.
Right.
And if he was with a young guy in the 90s, people were probably just like, hey, fuck it. You know, we're not going to write an article about this and get fucking ran through the mud as a fucking, you know, likening homosexuality to pedophilia. You know what I mean? There's all this weird, like, territory there.
Right.
That gray area that people might be scared to touch.
Right.
That's why when he got caught, he came out. He's like, I'm going to live openly as a gay man. Like, wait a minute. You were just accused of, like, putting your, forcing yourself on a 14-year-old.
Did he have his dick out?
No, he kind of, but no. Here's the thing.
It's terrible.
Spacey's a shade ball.
Yeah, no.
Harvey Weinstein they're going to put in jail.
You think they're going to actually get him? They couldn't get Cosby. You think they're going to get him?
They're going to try. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to try.
He's definitely not as beloved as Cosby ever. You know, he never was. No one looks at fucking Harvey Weinstein's like, oh, but he's the Jello guy. Like, there's none of that going on.
There's none of that. Nobody gives a shit.
Right.
You know? You think that was the deliberations of the Cosby jury?
So I would have been like, I love those pudding pops.
Hey, he's the Jello guy. The fuck's wrong with all you people?
So there was blood and lewds on the fucking whatever.
What do you think, Mike? Where does it all go?
What do you mean, like entertainment?
Yeah. What's happening?
It just we got to make room for more women. It's gonna be all women, all women comics, all women stars,
and it's nice. It's nice.
I think it's good. It's good because you're gonna have a more evolved. You know, they're not gonna like pigeonhole what women's comedy has to be anymore. So you can get like a wider.
I mean, it's over for me. You probably have a chance. But,
I doubt it. But
yeah,
I really doubt it.
Most of us.
I'm taking my half hour soon. Just a minute, so I think I'm all right.
Very good.
Nice.
Very good. Just a half hour of him in a car. Listen, let me out. Flew first class, this piece of shit.
First time I ever went on an airplane, though.
First time he ever went on an airplane, went first class.
Good for you.
Well, thank you.
Have you just went for a vacation?
I've never flown first class in my life.
Yeah, but you've been on planes before. I did my first plane ever.
I have a couple times. My uncle works for United, so I was like flying standby. There was a seat open, but I was wearing a velour Fila tracksuit, and the lady sitting next to me was very upset.
She's like, I've got John Gotti's grandson on the plane.
Yeah,
fucking, that's so funny. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, folks. Do you think that food show is done? Like, do you think they're going to call us back? Wouldn't it be funny if they call us back and they're like, listen, we're making hot spots. We're going to make it just me, you, and Francine. Yeah, hey, y'all. Y'all never had a redneck grilled cheese? Butter?
Peanut butter pie.
I like pie.
I hate that that's like a cuisine. I hate that like Southern food is like considered.
You always used to say that. You're always like, if you deep fry anything in batter,
it
tastes good. You know? Yeah. I like my Elvis pie. Bananas, peanut butter. That's a great...
You eat it on the toilet.
Maria Bamford has a great bit about Paula Deen recipes.
Uh-huh.
Get that up, Shannon. Get Maria Bamford's Paula Deen recipe bit up. Because I think that is... that's probably one of the best bits about, like, that type of food that I've heard. Yeah, you could do that.
I was trying to learn to cook. People always say how easy it is to cook, but it is not any easier than not cooking. Oh, just get a really good virgin olive oil. Pile of milk duds, pile of nuts. Boop, beep, boop, beep. No, just slice up just a couple of... Squeezy cheese on finger, can of wine. No, just preheat the hot power bar from glove compartment. Ooh, doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo. Ooh, fresh from the oven. I'm very concerned about celebrity chef Paula Deen because her recipes are like a suicide note. Y'all, we're gonna be making some sweet dreams of little balls of butter, shortening, Crisco, fatback, cracklings, blubber, suet, margarine, mayonnaise. Each day I wake to a fresh nightmare. Pain is too great. God gonna roll in some granulated sugar, powdered sugar, candy corn, gummy snakes, Mentos, cookies, some nuts. Don't look for me. I've made a plan and I will follow through with it. Gonna drizzle that in some hot fudge, heavy cream, whipping cream, sour cream, ice cream, cake batter, peanut butter. Egg. Bon appetit and goodbye.
I love that bit. It's
Well,
so true.
there was a guy named Josh Ozersky who was like a pretty well-known food writer, and you could tell that nobody really liked him from the way people talked about him. Like after he died, he like died in his shower. I think he had a stroke and he drowned or something. But he was very like oily, kind of unlikable guy. There's a video of him like outside a chicken restaurant. And he's like shitting on the restaurant in front of it.
Yeah,
like in front of somebody's
Bring
business.
this up.
just
What's
being
this
like,
guy? Joshua, how you spell this?
He died?
Yeah, he died in like 2011. But all the tweets about him were like, we didn't always agree on everything, and Josh was a strong personality, but you could just tell the guy was
Dude, remember
kind of an
we used to
asshole.
watch that guy? Who did we used to watch?
Nick Solaris.
Nick Solaris, the meat guy.
Yeah.
Dude, we used to get he would always we watched.
He was
him-
a Nazi.
Yeah, Nick Solaris. Was he really?
Yeah, he was in some white
he loved
supremacist
the
group.
prime rib at Smith and Walensky's. He'd be like,
And you said he went there, and he'd be like, "This will be good for your business."
yeah, they're like staring at him like, what? But like he he would be like, what was he saying? Remember,
He's like British, and he's like kind of horny in the videos.
yeah,
Like he's talking to.
The chicken restaurant one.
yeah, but that guy Nick Solaris was horrible. You hated him.
Yeah,
He's a comic.
He was like a
he hosted the meat show on Eater.
Eater.com. He's like their meat reviewer.
Oh, he was at the
He
audition.
would go in. What do you?
But all these shows are just kind of.
He drove you nuts about ketchup,
empty.
right? He's like, you can't have ketchup or something, and you're like, Nick, shut the fuck.
Yeah. He said you can't put ketchup on your burger.
Yeah.
On your burger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy was like a fucking real. He was a real treat.
Well, he
We
was
have-
like a he was like a dick to the waiter at Joe Junior's.
Yeah, he was like
He
a
did
piece
a
of
video,
shit.
yeah.
And then he was in a white supremacy.
The guy
Is that
goes,
true?
yeah. The guy goes, this like little Mexican waiter. He's like, you want lettuce, tomato? He's like, why would I need that?
Why would I need that?
Why would I need that? My perfect
piece of
burger
meat.
is only meat and cheese.
What is this tattoo? 14 words on my forearm? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
This is it.
Let's the ultimate fried
Second
chicken.
video down. Yeah.
All right, let's see this. This is Josh Ozersky.
But he's like sitting in front of somebody. I mean, he was probably autistic or something. I'm glad he's dead. Is the point I'm trying to make. But
That's awful.
That's awful. He's sitting in front of somebody's restaurant.
yeah.
I'm Josh Ozersky, and this is Ozersky TV, brought to you by Underground Eats. Today is National Fried Chicken Day, and it's 2 days after the 4th of July, and this is the greatest of all American foods after the hamburger. And I am of the
He's like
belief
opinions that mean nothing.
that it is nowhere made more poorly, more mistreated, more grotesquely executed, more badly understood and indifferently prepared than here in New York City. Now, I'm in a restaurant called Dirty Bird To Go.
It's like whispering.
But I'm picking on them, but it could be any place
There's
that's
some
on
southern moron who
the
came to New
list
York,
of the
like, looking
best
for, like,
New York
just say,
fried
oh, they
chickens.
just
They all
sold- whatever.
suck. Almost all of them suck. They're all deep fried. Even the cornbread is deep fried.
What is
This
it
is
supposed
one
to
of the
be?
worst
I don't even
ones.
know.
But I'm going to eat the chicken. But it might be good. Let me see.
Some Mexican guy just tastes him with a broom. It's like, you're gone.
And not as good as Popeyes. It's not as good as like Bojangles or the Colonels even. As deep fried chickens always are. The outside is all dry and
What's wrong
crumbly.
with deep fried chicken?
And
How are
the
you supposed to
inside,
fry a chicken?
If it's not
I guess he's
also
saying
dry
pan
and
fry.
crumbly.
I don't know.
Little-
what
People
the
actually
hell is
pan
supposed
fry
to
chicken? I know you could do that.
But he makes a comment in this video. He's like, they're usually spices that were brought over like from the slaves.
be. Yeah, Jesus. This is
Well,
my
I don't
problem.
think the slaves brought their
This
spices.
is
No,
my
I don't
problem
think
with,
so
like,
either.
like foodie cultures. Like I always say this about pizza and shit. Like we weren't supposed to debate fried chicken. You know what I mean?
No.
Like this wasn't a thing. Like fried chicken's glorious, even in its incarnations that aren't that great.
Right.
You're just like, oh, it's fried chicken. There's better pizza. There's pizza that isn't good. But I think that there's too much
like, you know, of a tendency now to like talk about everything like it's a bit like it matters.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, no, you know, that much effort didn't go into this.
Yeah.
This isn't a 5-star meal. This isn't a, like, you know what I mean?
So they've been trained 10 years. I mean,
this
they've
isn't
been doing it for a long time.
This isn't a classically trained show. Like, you know, I get it. But that's what New Orleans. Like, I was there. I went to an oyster bar, and you know, the one next to it was like rated higher, Acme. But I didn't want to wait, and I went to one, and I went with Desire, and it was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What made you go to New Orleans? You just
My mom has been going there for a couple of years now. She wanted to go. I was like, fuck it, let's go.
Why'd you fly first class?
She likes to, you know, she wanted to do it up, and I was like, yeah. She bought the tickets. I was like, yeah, do.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to say this for a minute too. I want to take a quick minute to tell you about some of the things that are happening at Gas Digital, Mike. Okay, I know that you're not aware of it. The SD live streams are now free. So if you're not watching this right now on standard def on GasDigitalNetwork.com, you're a fucking moron. Okay, you get the live stream for free. You can watch the video version of the podcast live as they happen. No subscription necessary. But if you want to support the show, the best way you can do it is by subscribing for the exclusive content only available at Gas Digital, including all the video archives, the audio archives. We've got 2 years of this show, almost, not really 2, but a year and a half that go back. We've got a lot of great stuff. iTunes or Google Play, they come out on Sunday. You can listen 5 days earlier on Tuesday. Episodes with no ads. You can get on the message boards and meet some friendly people and, you know, start networking and
teach you how to make a bomb.
Yeah, you can start to figure out where to buy cheap guns. Gas Digital message boards are the closest thing you could get to the dark web. So, you know, you might be like, hey, Ray's face looks extra red today, or where can I buy a gun? Gas Digital message boards, you know? Use the promo code HELL when you check out. GasDigitalNetwork.com. You get a 14-day free trial. So if you decide to keep your membership, save $1. It's $6 per month. If you hate it, you can fucking cancel it. It doesn't fucking matter, but you're not going to hate it. I think once you get addicted, you know? GasDigitalNetwork.com. Promo code HELL. Subscribe. Mike Recine has a podcast. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I got a new podcast called The Sit Down. It's about organized crime. I've been doing it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, we profile a different figure in the mob or whatever.
Who's coming up?
Week. We got Sonny Francis tomorrow. Sonny and Michael Francis.
Any relation to Chicken franchise?
Yeah.
Does he?
It's his brother.
Chicken was wild.
Do you have a favorite like mob figure?
I guess. I mean, I kind of like. I mean, they're all they're all pieces of shit. Like it's hard to tell the stories the right way because they're all like obviously bad people.
Well,
and there are a lot of like mafia fan people out there like on the internet that are just too into it. But
I like Joe Gallo.
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah.
I kind of like Greg Scarpa, even though he was a rat. He found those bodies in Mississippi. We're doing an episode on him later. Roy DeMeo.
Yeah.
And,
Vincent the Chin Gigante.
Yeah, we did a couple episodes on him.
Is he the one that would pretend to be mentally handicapped?
Yeah, he would walk around in a bathrobe and like piss on the street. He fooled two licensed psychiatrists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? What does it mean to be a licensed psychiatrist? Bunch of frauds.
Right.
Bunch of fanooks.
Exactly.
Bunch of fanooks.
Yeah. But yeah, it's on iTunes and everything, and I hope
check
you
it out. What's it
listen.
called again?
The Sit Down.
The Sit Down. Check it out. It
People
sounds
might
great.
want to see you live, and they want to find out where they could go see you live and dates. Where do they go?
I'm doing. I'm around the city. My dates are on MikeRacine.com.
Go to MikeRacine.com.
I'm at New York Comedy Club a lot. Stand up New York.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah,
very good. Ray Kump, what are you up to?
Once you can see, go to Vice Sports Facebook or Go 90. You can watch That Happened, my series on Vice Sports. New episodes coming out soon. We're gonna get a lot more. I'm gonna be pitching other stuff to Vice, so maybe I'll be pitching more than just sports stuff soon. But we'll see about that. You want to see me live? You can come tonight if you're listening live to Wilson. It's on Wilson Avenue. Stop on the L. Father Knows Best. And then tomorrow I'll be somewhere in Bushwick. Look at my Facebook. And I got a website coming soon, probably.
I will be taping a special in New Orleans on Saturday night at the Civic Theater, Comedy Central. If you are down there, if you're listening live, you could come. Obviously, if not, it comes out Sunday. I will be December 13th. I'll be at Chasquin Pub in New Hampshire. The 14th, I'll be at Laugh Shack in Portland, Maine. The 15th, I'll be co-headlining The Colony with Sean Donnelly. December 2nd to 4th, I'll be at Side Splitters in Tampa. December 18th to 20th, I'll be at Laugh Boston in Boston. A lot of fun. In between that, I'm going to be in Los Angeles. I'll be in L.A. pretty much for the whole month of December. I mean, for the whole month of January, I'm sorry. If you're fucking, if you're listening live. and you want to, check out me, I'll be, timdilloncomedy.com. We'll have dates up, hopefully by the first of the year with where I'm going to be. I'll be doing some cool podcasts out there. Hopefully maybe Bert Kreischer and stuff like that. We'll see. And if some of those dudes have time, I'll be doing Tony Hinchcliffe's and, stopping and seeing those dudes. Shout out to Connor McSpadden, who listens to this every week, whether he does or he doesn't. I mean, that's very nice of him. Guy out in L.A.
Hi, Connor.
He's a roast guy. But, very funny. He's a funny comedian.
Thanks for listening, Connor.
Yeah, thanks. He's that guy Keith Carey's his friend.
Yeah, the podcast.
They're like the Mean Boys.
Yeah.
They're like a little, I like it.
I love Keith.
I like those kids. But, if you want to have a taco with me, let me know. If you want to produce a show with me and Mike Recine. This episode is for Jack. Jack is a huge fan of ours. He's a high school student in Long Island who loves Stewed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so.
I remember him.
Yeah, he loved the show. But
does he like our show?
Jack, listen to the other one. Listen to the sit down.
Yeah, listen to the sit down, Jack. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life, Jack? Going to All American?
He's a 23-year-old high school kid. He's still in high school from when we did Stewed.
28 years old.
Yeah.
He's like, I love Stewed.
That was what, like 3 years ago?
God, yeah. It was a long time ago.
Where did it time go?
But it should be fun. When I get out with the Comedy Central half hour, should I just do a riff about 9/11?
Yeah.
Like right up front.
When I tape mine, this lady gave me a thumbs down after one of my jokes on my special taping.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love all the people who are like, it's my dream. I'm like, you didn't know it existed. They're like, I've dreamed about this since I'm a kid. I'm like, you didn't know it was a thing? What are you talking about?
It's not even a good show anymore.
It's whatever it is, it is. I'm not going to say anything, but
4 people see it.
if that, you're lucky.
Yeah.
You'd be very lucky.
Yeah, whatever.
You get a solid 4.
It's a nice notch in the belt.
It's a fun thing. What are you going to do?
What else is there for us to? What would even make you happy at this point?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I want a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Who's rich and blind.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Maybe Spacey?
Like a rich, blind.
You should date Kevin Spacey.
I will date the shit out of Kevin Spacey.
I'll throw acid in his eyes for you.
I will. You don't have to say that, Ray. He's fucking down on his luck.
In all seriousness, though,
you don't have to fucking maim him.
In all honesty, if
Jesus Christ,
if you started a podcast with Kevin Spacey,
yeah,
people would listen.
Let me tell you right now,
you get at least 14,000 listeners.
No, I think you get more than that.
You get more than that.
If Spacey dropped a pod, they would try to censor it.
Yeah, and no one's, but you can't stop it.
I don't think you can, but like they would try. I think
they would probably try.
iTunes could possibly.
iTunes would try.
Libsyn might even be like, "Fuck you," like just
Yeah, it might be wrong. Well, I mean, what would it be? Cool? Wouldn't it be great if it was just he doesn't acknowledge any of the actions? He just talks about like climate change, or it's like he just talks about Trump.
Would it bother you?
Kevin Spacey.
Would it bother you if anybody went down? Because I keep seeing people be like, "I hope so and so doesn't get accused." Like that's going to ruin their. But would anybody bother you? Maybe Steven Seagal. That would bug me.
Spielberg. If it came out that Spielberg was a big pedophile and like peddled kids all over Hollywood, that would kind of be shitty.
Yeah.
Tom,
would it bother? No, my day's not ruined.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel that way about Spielberg. But Tom Hanks, it wouldn't bother me, but it would be like
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
That guy's a piece of shit anyway.
Denzel.
Yeah, Denzel would be.
You know what I mean? I respect Denzel.
Yeah.
I don't
Morgan Freeman.
Judi Dench.
She's just
Dame Judi
She's
Dench.
just shoving kids up her twat.
Ralph Nader.
She's just she's fucking herself with a baby.
Tonight, some sad news. Dame Judi Dench was arrested for
she does a perp walk,
molesting and murdering a child. She's like, well, you know what? I got to be honest. Sometimes I like little hands on me beaver.
I'm surprised more stuff's not coming out from you. Like I know they were dead, but like Walter Matthau and like Jack Lemmon were like running trains on fucking.
They're all dead.
Were
the
they?
victims are all
Were they?
dead.
Yeah.
They're all dead.
I'm saying, I'm sure stuff like that was happening.
Those old chicks know how to keep their mouth shut. You know what I mean? Some old dancer at the fuck. You know how many of those Vegas showgirls could talk shit about every fucking president we've had?
I heard the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz like raped somebody.
I mean,
Donnelly
listen,
knows
man.
somebody who. Yeah. He's like, you're going to say no to me? I'm the goddamn Tin Man.
Is that what he said?
Probably.
God. Man.
No,
you
like
can.
probably. Yeah.
You know what's great in that fucking movie is that scene where the guy hangs himself.
Yeah.
Is that real?
That's so real.
Yeah.
And it's so great.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, folks, subscribe to the show. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is the right thing to do. You know,
You guys are doing a good thing. There's a lot of podcasts out there, and none of them are good. And I think
I
this
appreciate
one,
you actually listen to this, which I like.
Yeah,
Thank you. So we're trying to get some good interviews coming up soon. You know, with people.
There's only like 7 or 8 good podcasts. You know,
Yeah,
everything else is like 2 guys from L.A. who
I know.
Talk about video games.
Right. It's a good point. I like Rogan.
Yeah, it's
good.
I've been listening to lately the Dollop. Have you heard the Dollop?
I have not listened.
I like it. It's they talk about history and it's just funny.
Shout out to guys we fucked. They're gonna come on.
Cool.
They're gonna come on. Give us a little bumpy bump. Little bumper bump bump. I think they're gonna come on. I just go. One of them's gonna have dinner with me and her boyfriend, but I don't know if that means they're gonna come on the show. But.
I gave my phone number out on that podcast like 3 years ago when I did it, and I still get people texting me.
What, Rogan?
No, guys we fucked.
Oh,
yeah.
To Rogan. Yeah. It'd be great. You on Rogan, and Rogan's just like, "What's up, man?" You're like, "What's up?" Rogan's like, "All right, well, we got to sit here for 3 hours.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, like, we don't have to talk, but we got to sit here for like 2 hours." So, did you sit there stare at each other for 2 hours and 45
Who?
minutes? You and Rogan?
Just watching
And then Rogan
Gladiator.
goes like this. Rogan goes, "Hey, man, I'm going to wrap it up."
What was that?
Thanks for coming in.
Oh, he just doesn't say anything? You saying I don't talk enough?
You don't talk enough for Rogan. Rogan's a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
You got to go in there hot.
Yeah.
You got to go in there with a lot. I don't talk enough for Rogan. I probably do.
Probably do.
But I mean, the guys that are on Rogan are like,
Yeah.
They all have a thing. They all come in with like, they're all like,
they have a lot of ideas about race and culture.
well, whatever. No. They all come in and they're like, you can see in the Mesozoic era that this type of fox. And Rogan's like, they go deep. It's deep. You know, it's a 3-hour fucking like, crazy fucking thing. Yeah. Shannon, you got anything to add? You seem like you're in a real mood today, Shannon.
No, I'm dealing with a lot of technical issues on the backside.
I'm sorry.
But what I can add is if anybody wants to send you guys anything, you can send it to Gas Digital Studios, care of Tim Dillon's Going
Yes.
Tell.
Shout out to Sean, our super fan. I forget your last name. I want to say Zervain. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Hello, Sean.
You sent Ray the socks with the splashes of
You never
blood
gave me
on
the
them.
socks.
They're here.
Right.
And you sent us a gift card. I appreciate that. I forget. Remember?
Oh, we went to the waffle place of it.
Whatever. The point
The
is...
Dingles.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's right. We got waffles. I got sick in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my. I got mushroom waffles.
Thank you for all of your support of the show. And we appreciate it. It's good.
Thank
that
you,
we have
Sean.
It's good that we have a fan out there that really cares. Thanks to the fan in Long Island who came out to see me with his girlfriend. And I'm going to get you a promo code to listen to my episode of Come Town for free. Just give me a minute. And, thanks to everyone for their support. Rate, review us, subscribe, 5 stars, tell your friends. This is a great giving. It's time to give the gift of gas. It's a great stocking stuffer. We should have...
Gas up your wife.
We should have a stocking stuffer.
If you donate $100, Lewis will come to your house dressed as Santa Claus.
You don't need 100 for that.
Can we get ornaments made of us, like as not just some gas thing, but
Stop.
like wait, that me and you were like
Listen, folks, go in there and get a mug. Go in there and get a mug.
Buy a mug.
Get a shirt.
Sweatshirts. It's cold. Why aren't you wearing a sweatshirt? Yeah.
Get a hoodie. Eric Taylor tells me I can't walk around with a devil horns because I'm a father. Hey, fuck you, buddy. You like the show or not? Support the show.
Kids probably getting, the kids. You know what I'm getting at here.
Stop always with that, Ray.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's doing it, but at some point,
Stop. Edit that out. We have to edit that out now. You're such a fat slob. Edit that. Edit that whole section out, Shannon, please. Thank you. I apologize. It's such a fat animal.
I don't know what we're talking about.
I know. It's a friend of mine. We're
right.
talking about his kid being fucked. You're going to edit this out now? You fucking fat, dumb slob. It's a nice kid. That kid's probably getting fucked. That can't be the reflex of every fucking thing that we say. You just to fucking start talking about kids getting fucked. This is why the Food Network didn't hire us. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye. Oh, when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Hey.
Welcome to the Stewed reboot.
Yeah, back by popular demand.
By
which
popular demand.
3 guys who said, I won't shoot up my school if you bring this. You guys talking about chicken fingers again.
Listen, baby. I'm going to try not to call anyone a monkey so they don't take this podcast away from us.
They canceled Stewed. The Stewed reboot got canceled. Man, Roseanne, like all you had to do was not call someone a name. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's the testament to money. Mm-hmm. She's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of fun. We're watching Matt right now put fucking salad in a wrap.
Right.
This is the thing about...
He didn't even fold the burrito.
He didn't even fold the burrito. Here's the thing about Matt.
It's just
Matt,
falling out.
Matt is a delicious human being when you look at him. But being in shape, you look at what you have to do, and like he's just putting this salad keeps falling out of this wrap.
Yeah,
and he has to keep
Don't
putting.
you know how to fold a tortilla?
Yeah, he has to keep putting the salad back in the wrap and like eat it in a certain way, and it's just like, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah. Nice to be back, Tim.
It's good to be back here. It's New York City's only food podcast, right?
I probably. Yeah.
I mean, who else is? That other guy's talking about soccer, right?
Well, Carl Hess does one, but that's
I
where
mean, that
he
guy. That guy.
It's just food for 10 minutes, and he sucks someone off.
I want to ask him, how much money did you inherit? $20 million?
Yeah.
I've never seen someone look less stressed.
Right.
I'm like, who is listening to this?
Right.
No, sweet man. He had me on. Good man. Good person.
Yeah, I think so. But we're back because of popular demand. People want to hear the show, and
mainly
it's nice
Bratislava. Mainly him. This is one guy who wanted to hear the show.
Mainly both of our spiritual advisors wanted us to do the show. Should we talk about Brad for a bit? We don't have to talk about why we're back here, right? I mean, people get it.
People get it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we're both busy.
Yeah.
You know, we had an argument, I think. I forget over what.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I guess the problem is, like, you're so funny, and I kind of never figured out how to be funny around you.
No, we're both funny. I'm not a good, like, I'm very hard to work with.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm like a fat cunt.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen a woman in a grocery store whose kids are terrified of her and their lives are hell?
Yeah.
Like the fat cunt who just walks down the aisle and like her kids are like just trailing behind her. That's kind of like what I'm like.
You're also very, I think you're very competitive, you know?
I'm competitive a little, yeah.
But it makes the people around you better.
I mean, one would hope.
Yeah.
But
I think that's why comedy kind of sucks now, because comedy should be inherently competitive. You should be trying to say the thing that no one else is saying. You should be trying to go there, think of the smarter thing to say. And now it's just this sort of commie thing where a lot of people are doing it and everybody's kind of mediocre.
Well,
at
it's
it,
also like,
you know?
listen,
we got 1,500 Matt Andersons everywhere.
I'll give you. We'll do socialized medicine. I'm in for that.
Yeah.
But we got to have a screening process to become a open mic. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
We need a screening process for comedy. And then I'll destroy the private sector. I don't care. But no, there's too many comedians now where they're like, I'm a good person.
Yeah.
And you know what? Good people are great. And I don't think I'm a horrible person. I don't think you're a horrible person. I don't think we're great. Like, you're not funny because you're a good person.
Absolutely not.
That's not the person that was funny.
Yeah.
If from your life, the funny stories you tell about somebody
was just the biggest piece of shit.
Usually, it wasn't like, oh, that person was I met them at a soup kitchen. Oh, you know who's funny? You know that guy I met? He was mentoring a kid. Oh my God, that guy was hilarious.
Yeah.
That would only be funny if you're like, and you know what? He was fucking that kid.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, there's something about human nature where it's really not moral, you know? So, like, I think when you act like a piece of shit, that does sort of reveal something about human nature. That it's in all of us, that we're all garbage.
Well, a lot of people think that, like, we're driving the fucking, like, we're steering the ship in terms of, like, art, and we're not. We're a mirror. We're reflecting society. That's why people get mad at Roseanne, because they're like, oh, she's a racist.
We're just trying to show you what's there.
And it's like, we all agree like that there's racism. So why shouldn't there be a show that illustrates that with a character that has a conflict and is flawed and is a racist? Because we live in a racist country. Like we all. So why pretend that
why
doesn't
shouldn't there be
exist?
a show where the main character goes to her Muslim neighbor and takes a shit on their lawn?
Well, she didn't do that. I mean, but think about it. Yes, there should, because here's the deal. You can't tell me like, oh, America's racist, and then there's a show about a racist.
Yeah.
You say America victimizes Muslims, and then there's a show about someone victimizing a Muslim, and you go, well, this is absurd. It's like, well, it's not if one of the two things has to be true. Either America is nowhere near as racist as you say it is, or it fucking, like, you know, whatchamacallit, or you have to like grant the idea that there's, you know, or the show isn't as racist as you say it is. It's like one of the two things has to be true. But if we do live in like a country where there are racist people, shouldn't they be on TV? I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, but then you look at a show like Last Man Standing with Tim Allen, you go, I think we can do better.
Probably,
You know?
but there's not one show. There's very few shows I'm like, we can't do better. You know what I mean? There's very few shows. I'm a little sick of Asian desserts. Like, I understand that.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sick of like rolled ice cream and like, because they're all garbage. It's just like a big. They're all just big. Like, there's just like, they give you a bucket of shaved ice and then they're like, here's coconut milk on it. It's like, that's, why am I giving you $8?
Yeah, I guess I've never had a desire to consume that stuff.
I like, you know,
Did you ever hear in the bubble tea?
I never did it.
Yeah.
I don't do it. Do you do it?
No.
No.
What are those things? There's little
They're
beads,
everywhere,
there's
those
little beads in
people.
them or something.
They spread.
Yeah.
But, like, the rolled ice cream's not good.
What is rolled ice cream?
It's that ice cream that they make by freezing it, and then they take that shit and, like, they roll it up on, like, that frozen. It almost looks like a grill, like a griddle. It's, like, frozen. And then they roll it up, and it's like, why don't you just scoop ice? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, we don't need ice cream to be like paper.
Yeah.
You know? Right?
Like Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots is gross. I had that
Yeah,
fight on Fox News with that chick about Dippin' Dots. I started yelling at her. Red Eye. Remember that show, Red Eye?
Yeah.
All those blondes from some pageant would go on, and they in the green room, they'd be like, I'm Miss Tallahassee. And then they get out on the thing, and they'd be like, Syria must burn. You'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Here's some summer foods. Are you excited about grilling? You're like a real guy. You're a
Yeah,
real
I
man.
guess. I don't, you know, I don't
There's a
have
lot of beta male cucks, but you're not one of them.
Really?
You put your cock on the grill.
Thanks.
You grill it.
I like to think so. Yeah, you know, summer's here. What are the best grill foods?
Well, here's what they say the top food trends are, okay? This is like sustainable seafood. It's like, am I worrying about that? You know?
Yeah.
That's not my business.
Yeah.
Figure it out if it's sustainable or not.
I guess the problem with that is like a lot of we kill a lot of stuff we're not looking for.
Yeah.
So, you know, salmon fishers, they end up killing
Yeah, but it's like we have all this science. Like, can't you just breed salmon?
You would think,
right?
Yeah.
Can't you just fucking do that?
Yeah.
I think they're doing that, right? Isn't this what factory farming's good for?
Yeah, but they're still raising the animals and killing them.
New cuts of
not
meat,
great.
like instead of like the New York strip, they're gonna have things like the bavette cut. They're gonna have like cheaper cuts of meat from like there's a cut of meat now. There's something called the Vegas strip steak, which is from the cow's shoulder. They have something called the Merlot cut. It's from the cow's heel.
Isn't the shoulder the toughest part of the cow?
Yeah,
'Cause they
no,
use it
they're
to get around. What are we doing here?
They're just taking underutilized cuts of meat,
Yeah.
and then probably just trying to like marinate them or to make them edible.
And they're making it cool. Yeah.
They're making it cool now. They're like, my uncle's, one of his steakhouses in the city, they're doing that. They're serving like, underutilized cuts of meat. And they're like, hey, you don't want to spend $57 for steak?
Yeah.
Come in here and spend $27 and you could spend the majority of your meal sawing into it.
Right. I made Deb a rabbit for Valentine's Day.
Really?
Yeah, braised rabbit.
I heard
That's
on
pretty cool.
Rogan you could eat rabbit every day and still die because there's no fat.
Oh.
Interesting.
It is a very lean meat.
Yeah.
Chicken is too.
I know we've only been doing this for like 5 minutes, but whose podcast is bigger? Do you think ours or Rogan's?
Probably Rogan's.
Yeah, well, not by the end of
But
this.
Comparison is the theft of joy. You know? We're still feeling it out here.
Vegetable-centric dishes are another thing that's coming heavy 2018. Because people like Matt, men with vaginas, okay, beautiful men.
Yeah.
Beautiful men.
Yeah.
I feel like I would pull that Matt's
But why
pants.
is it a symbol of masculinity to like eat meat that someone else killed?
I don't know, because it's, I don't even think it's a symbol of masculinity. It's just good. It just tastes better than vegetables.
Right. Yeah. But people go, oh, you don't eat meat, you pussy. But why is that?
Who says that? Does anyone say that?
I've
Anybody
said
really
it.
say that?
People
I
say
guess
that.
people say it.
Yeah.
It feels masculine to eat an animal,
Something that died. Yeah.
something hot and dead. You know,
Yeah.
house-made condiments. People also are getting very excited about that. You excited? You care about that? I don't. I want Heinz ketchup.
Yeah.
I don't want some hipster ketchup that you made.
Well, it's almost like that's the thing that everybody's doing because they couldn't be lawyers. Everybody
Right.
makes a mustard or a mayo or something.
This is what they're doing. Yeah, house-made condiments because the American dream is dead.
Yeah.
Somebody's making 18 types of mustard.
Yeah. Which it's so fun. I mean, that kind of fascinates me, that like startup culture where it's
Yeah.
like these 324-year-olds are
Yeah.
changing the mayonnaise industry.
Yeah.
And I feel like mayonnaise was fine the way it was. I never thought that I needed more,
These kids are disrupting the chicken soup industry.
Yeah.
Now you get the ingredients of a soup mailed to your door and you make the soup.
Yeah. And it's always someone with rich parents, obviously.
Of
They make it
course.
sound like it's, somebody with a great idea. But there really aren't that many great ideas left.
There's a few.
Yeah.
There's
that
a
haven't
few.
been done yet. Yeah.
But there's listen, an idea is like the first part, and then there's like fucking everything else.
I just feel like the game is rigged the longer I live.
A lot of it is.
Yeah.
A lot of it is rigged.
Yeah.
But there's also the idea that like it's very, very tough. We live in a world where some people are brilliant. Some people are us.
Yeah.
And then some people are like, look at us like we're brilliant.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like that's the variation we have.
Yeah.
We have hawking,
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
and then guys that think we're hawking.
Right.
Because
Right.
we figured out a way to like monetize sitting on our couch.
To sort of scrape by and not have a
Right.
day job. Yeah.
So in a world with that diversity of, people's capabilities, it's going to be tough. I mean, people are going to rig the game.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. It's like people are going to rig it.
That's why
you
we
know?
need socialism, Make sure everybody's
to an
taken care
extent,
of.
you're right. To an extent,
Yeah.
Yeah. We probably do need some level of, well, what about food socialism?
Oh, like everybody gets a meal?
Everybody gets a meal. I'm in for that. Everybody gets a meal.
Yeah.
A nice breakfast. Everybody gets a breakfast delivered to. Listen to me. Everyone yells at me for being conservative. I'm pitching a radical idea. Everyone's
Right.
yelling at me.
But you've shit
Everyone's
all
a-
over free breakfast in the past.
I've shit all over everything. It's my job to take a shit in the mouth of everything. That's my job. My job's not to go and give people shots that they need. What do you think about you wake up, and they knock on the door. Hello, Mr. Recine. And Deb, I guess Deb's going out to work. So you go, don't worry about your breakfast, honey. I'll have it for you later, but you won't.
I end up eating
And
it.
they hand you a nice. Wouldn't this make you want to go out and fucking do good shit? Like I believe this. You get every day is a different nice breakfast you can order from like one or two options.
Yeah.
They bring it in you every day at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And they go, or 8 a.m., whenever you want it.
Who brings it?
People, the workers.
Yeah.
All of the government workers you guys love so much. They're gonna get in the trucks and bring them. They bring the breakfast.
Yeah.
So you wake up, maybe you feel like shit. You're hungover and you have no life and you're in the bathroom, you're drinking and you're upset because nothing's gone your way. And then somebody knocks on the door and they've got a piping hot frittata for you, a glass of orange juice and a cup of coffee. And they say, hey, you're a person.
Yeah.
And you eat that. And what do? Do you go back to bed? Probably. But
The
maybe
majority
not.
of people would, yeah.
But that's, I thought you did like socialism. What are you saying now? I think it would inspire people to do great things. That's my contention.
Yeah. Yeah, it might.
People like street food is
What
coming
about
back.
lobster rolls?
I like them.
Yeah.
I like them. I was in Montauk recently, and what's fun there is like, I become a Stalinist in Montauk. Like you watch a few kids jump out of a Rolls Royce Phantom with ice cream cones.
Oh, yeah.
You start going, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like,
Yeah.
you ready?
To
Like,
the gulag, baby.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Like, let's go. I'm on board after a few days out there. You could fucking get, but I like a nice lobster roll. What do you think? Do you go Boston or the Connecticut style? The best lobster roll I ever had was a place called Abbott's in Connecticut. It was just butter, fresh lobster on a
No
roll.
mayonnaise, right? The Connecticut style.
Yeah. What do you think? You think you go the mayonnaise route?
Yeah, I
New
kind of like
England
I
route?
kind of like the mayonnaise.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the butter, but I like the fresh lobster. You know.
Yeah.
You have a woman, Matt? Do you ever let your woman bring food into the bedroom? You have. Like what? What do you let her bring in? Fruit? Like what kind of fruit? A jackfruit?
No, like strawberry.
You put a strawberry? What does she do with strawberry? Put it inside you and then eat it out? She eats strawberry out of your ass? No. I'm asking. Mangoes?
Like regular fruit, pepperoni stuff.
Interesting.
Here's something I'd like to ask you about.
Yeah.
I saw something really funny on the internet this weekend. I also watched.
Me too. It's called the Daily Stormer. It's really good. It's on the dark web now, but it has really good
What is
cartoons.
the dark web?
It's the majority of the internet is like unregulated dark web where you get like child porn, drugs. You can hire an assassin, even though that's all fake.
Yeah.
And then the Daily Stormer, all these alt-right sites.
Yeah.
But keep guessing.
Every assassin is just an FBI agent. Right?
Probably.
Yeah,
or an
I can't
ex-comedian,
imagine.
like some failed comedian who's
It's
like,
your roommate.
I'll blow her brains out. It's my room. Let me ask, how much are you willing to pay? Maybe can I just hit her with that? I do not have gun.
They offer him more than like a weekend where he can.
I will throw a scare into your wife, yes.
Like more than he'd ever make doing comedy.
So what were you asking me?
Anyway, so I just feel like there's a lot of stuff I see on the internet that's a lot funnier than television. I don't know why television is so unfunny nowadays.
I know, it's
just
bad.
kind of lame. But anyway, what happened was there's this Facebook group. It's called Single Bikers Looking for Riding Partner. It's like a lot of middle-aged Harley Davidson people, and it got sort of overrun by trolls just posting pictures of like gay men on motorcycles,
That's
being like,
hilarious.
"I love riding motorcycles."
That's so funny.
So funny. Yeah, and eventually the trolls kind of outnumbered the people in the group. I think now the
Sure.
group has like 30,000 members or
Okay.
something. Then people start posting pictures of like the American flag on fire.
Right.
Like, be like,
Just for no
Happy
reason.
Memorial Day, everybody. Be like, hey, I'm going to shout out to my Muslim bikers. And people in the group are getting so fucking
getting
mad.
angry,
They're getting
sure.
so mad.
Sure.
And it's really funny. People like who don't know how to use computers going, that's it, I'm deleting myself.
Right.
What's with all this
Deleting
gay
my-
shit? Yeah, but I think what's interesting is like if you were going to tell network people we're going to make a TV show, would it be more profitable to make a TV show for the lame kind of Harley Davidson people, or would it be better to make something for these trolls?
Yeah, well, so
And
that's the
I
question.
feel like-
Are the trolls and are the younger people ever going to watch television? And the answer is
Yeah,
probably
probably
no.
not.
So the
But
reality
I guess my question for you is, I
yeah.
feel like sometimes, making money sort of gets in the way of making good content, because then you end up with stuff like Last Man Standing or like Pawn Stars or whatever.
Yeah, but
Even
those things have audiences. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
have people. I don't tend to believe that everything needs to be for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't believe my sensibility is the only sensibility that matters.
Mm-hmm.
So if people want to watch Last Man Standing, or they want to watch Roseanne, or they want to watch the reboot of Will and Grace, or whatever they want to do, that's fine. I've always liked things that were kind of outside the mainstream, and I and not always, but I also pride myself on that. I kind of don't want everything to be this big thing. Like I don't need everything to be this blockbuster. I think that like a lot of the things I love are unique and different. So this the idea of like, does money get in the way of making good stuff, or the need for it to be profitable get in the way of making good stuff? I mean, to an extent, sure.
Yeah.
But there's also so many ways now to crowd fund whatever you're looking to do, you know?
Yeah.
You can raise money through other avenues. I mean,
Yeah.
there's always going to be, I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, so do you envision a world where there's no profit motive and then all the art's better? I don't think so.
Right.
Is that the world?
Right.
Nobody feels nobody feels the pressure to make anything marketable.
Somebody-
Is that the better world? I mean, that's a lot of what we're around. People in Brooklyn and a lot of these places that are just not
Right.
funny at all. There's no commercial sensibility.
Right.
They don't think about how this is going to play outside of their 15 friends.
Right.
And no, I think you should, on some level, you should have to say, like, is this viable? Because even like a Come Town or any of these things that are great, that's viable commercially. Like, I disagree with people in Hollywood that say that isn't like, I think a lot of those things, given some time, Yeah, I could see them doing a Netflix special. I could see a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's a good point.
I love
somebody
Mike
in that
before
group-
Mike walked in, like some communist, one of his friends in like black mask, handed him like all these talking points. They're like, try to hit on the idea that like money ruins art. And then they ask him about a lot, like tell him in the beginning he's funny, so it catches him off guard. But then ask him about lobster rolls and if we should just get rid of the profit motive, because then there'd be a lot of funny art, you know, like what goes on at UCB where they don't pay anyone. You know, that's always hilarious.
Yeah, but UCB, that's all backed by like big money. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
it's a
people like
corporate- yeah. Sam
People like
Hyde, you're
us.
talking about people like that? Who's
I don't know. That's one of Tim's talents. He makes you forget what you're talking about. He makes you forget the argument that you made in the first place.
Matt, do you let Shelby peg you? Would you let Shelby peg you? You who's talked about it before? Me and you? We've never talked about it. You and Mike have talked about it? And Shelby pegged you on the show?
That's for our Patreon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Matt, how much would I have to contribute to your Patreon? See, this is not funny anymore because of everyone's assault. And I'm just trying to have fun with him and make him feel wanted and respected.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Right.
But everyone's going to be like, oh, you're making him feel uncomfortable. He's
knows
not
he's hot,
uncomfortable.
though.
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He really is. There's better. But
Yeah.
the what is your best memory of a summer? I remember during my communion, it was like in the spring. My father and his brothers got drunk and threw each other in my pool when I grew up. They like threw each other in my pool because you're like drunken Irish morons.
Yeah.
My Uncle Tommy wears like a "Make America Great Again" hat.
Yeah.
He's just like you know.
That's
he's
your
that
father's
guy.
your father's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite like spring summer memory?
I guess I remember my dad yelling at me one time because I was eating potato chips because I was a fat kid.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Enough with the chips," and I was like, "Fuck you." I was like, you don't tell me what to eat, you piece of shit.
You just put your head in the bag. You're like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. And then we went over to my grandma's house because she had a pool, and I just sat in the car eating chips by myself. And I
Interesting.
just sat there, and then I remember my uncle coming up and being like, "Hey, what's the matter? You got in a fight with your old man?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to talk about it." And I just stayed in the
Your
car.
uncle's like, "You are a fat, disgusting fuck." Remember that scene in The Sopranos where he goes, "You look like a Puerto Rican hoo-ha."
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite scenes in anything ever.
Were you a fat kid though?
No, I was a hot
okay.
little kid.
Because
I wasn't like perfect, but I was like when I was 7 or 8, it was hot.
So I remember being a fat kid, and I just
I started getting chubby like 13.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember being a chubby kid and my parents not knowing how to handle it. And one of the things my mom thought to do was just to buy me a bunch of Hawaiian shirts.
Is that just turn you into Gabriel Iglesias?
Yeah.
At least he'll be
like
funny.
Maybe this is like an identity for him.
She started calling you Fluffy.
Yeah.
She's like, at least you'll be funny.
Come on, be like the Fluffy man.
Tell us how fat you are.
She got me a John Pinette DVD.
She had you like perform at holiday parties. She's like, and now Michael's going to come up and tell us about how fat he is and that he likes food. Come here with your Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
I watched one of those Gabriel Iglesias specials. And again, he's a remarkably talented guy. But like one of his bits, he's just describing getting a cake shake at Portillo's, and he's like, they put the cake in the shake. And the audience is
They're like going nuts.
They're going nuts, dude.
Yeah.
They're going nuts like the Beatles on Ed Salt, like just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I guess because I guess he doesn't do like super smart material, right?
People like it.
People like it. Yeah.
It's for simple. There's a lot of simple
Right.
people,
There are
man.
simple people, yeah.
All these fucking Northeastern liberal elitists, your friends, truly, if they could meet all these people they advocate on behalf of, they would hate the majority of them. They really would. They'd be like, oh, they love all these people until they find out that they like go to monster truck rallies and they don't listen to Tegan and Sarah.
Right.
Then all of a sudden they're like, oh, maybe they don't deserve health insurance.
Right.
What
You don't
if-
think
yeah.
that's a stereotype that people have sort of painted the poor
No.
as uneducated and lazy and,
I'm not saying lazy and uneducated. There's large swaths of the population in America, okay? The working poor, quote unquote, who love Gabriel Iglesias. They love this stuff. They like NASCAR.
Yeah.
They like, and I'm not saying they're uneducated and lazy. Their tastes are wildly different
Right.
from a lot of the people that supposedly love them so much.
but we'll also ridicule them. Like in the same manner, all these people will be like, they'll shit on them. They'll be like, oh, these NASCAR watching white trash racists who need a checkup. They need checkups, and they do. But it's like you also hate. It's like it's a weird thing.
Yeah, maybe giving people health care is a way to sort of bring them in and bring
Where are you
people
from, Matt?
together
You seem
instead
like
of
a white.
dividing everybody.
You seem like a white guy. Where are you from? Minnesota. When did you first discover yourself? Here's what I think about.
I saw Kevin Janaway on the subway today.
I don't know who he is.
Really?
Oh, he's that gay guy, right?
Yeah.
He's like really nuts.
Yeah.
What's his deal?
I don't know. He seems happy. He was like wearing a suit going to work.
He's
like,
great.
He's like, where you going? A comedy show? I'm like, Kevin, it's 1:00 in the afternoon.
Are you going to perform comedy? He's like, I'm going to go blow this CEO in an alley for $7 and the rest of his Chipotle lunch card. Where are you going? Are you going to a comedy show?
Sometimes there's guacamole in it.
Are you going to a comedy show? I do a glory hole, but it's just my ass.
But it's what you said earlier about people who think you're doing. He goes, well, when you get your TV show, tell them you got friends. I have writing experience.
Tell them when you get your movie, you tell them that Kevin Spacey can run a train on my ass. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I just want my name in the credits. Harvey Weinstein could choke me till I lose consciousness and come in my liver. I don't even know how he would. He could make an incision in my stomach and come in my organs. Give me a writing credit.
How many people out there you think would work with Harvey Weinstein if they got the opportunity?
I mean,
they could fill a stadium with people who would willingly just be like, wow, really? All right.
He did his time.
Can't be that bad. Yeah.
He did his time.
Yeah.
I would work with OJ. You wouldn't work with OJ? He's a murderer. He's a murderer. If I showed up to a commercial.
People don't seem to care. Yeah.
They don't care because he's a black guy, so he gets away with it.
Right.
Number two, and there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that because they've been historically disenfranchised. So listen, she's a gold digging bitch, Nicole Brown Simpson. I don't really feel bad for her.
Right. I'm kind of glad she's dead.
Right, 100%. Now, make a list of advertisers you think are right for the show, Matt, while we do this. But listen, if I showed up to a commercial and they're like, you're going to be working with OJ, I'd be like, oh, this is kind of cool. I love The Naked Gun. He's like, he's like one of my favorite.
He's fantastic in The Naked Gun.
Dude, The Naked Gun was one of the greatest movies, and that's the problem is that you people are like, you do have to separate the art from the artist. You have to.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woody Allen, I don't know what he did. I don't know what he didn't do. But I'll tell you right now, he's made some goddamn good movies. Am I right? Am I wrong? And here's the thing with Roseanne. She called Valerie Jarrett an ape. That wasn't good. But here's the reality. We live in a world. It's very hard to not sound horrible making this point.
Just commit to it.
Here's what I'm going to say about this. We seem to live in a world right now where the highest art that somebody can do is to somehow telegraph that they are a good person and they're on the right side of history, which is this garbage phrase that everybody keeps using on Twitter,
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily, it's not that they're the funniest or the most unique. Well, in fact, those things are kind of punished now. If you're unique, you're kind of punished. It's much better to go along with what everyone else is saying, you know?
Right.
Get on Twitter, you're like, yes, racism's bad. Don't hit women or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, women are great, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
You know
understand.
who I like is that Laura Loomer.
I tell you right now, she's a real journalist.
American, yeah.
She's like in the West Bank right now, like somehow making things worse.
Just throwing shit at the protesters. like
Laura Loomer's-
after they're done shooting at them, she just throws her feces at them.
Laura Loomer's just pissing on dead people in Gaza. There's like dead Palestinian children. Laura Loomer's like, hey, do we have a live stream up to Alex Jones? I'm going to piss in this dead
Laura,
kid's
thank you for
face.
pissing on those dead Palestinians.
Laura Loomer joins us from the looks of it. She's taking a squat over a Palestinian child's corpse. Laura, as you unleash the steaming piss fury of the Americans to really fight the globalists. All I'm saying is that Matt's asshole is probably very taut. Taut? But yeah, man,
How about you clean your room before you think about this stuff? Listen, here's what I'm saying. I don't know how to really do it. I do a little. It's not that great. Here's what I'm saying. Well, number one, you have to understand that there are hierarchies based on competence, and those hierarchies are natural and desirable. Number two, my wife
that stuff feels
is
good.
not
I like
allowed
that.
out of the house. If I see her, a neighbor will tell me she's out of the house, and then we discipline her. Women need to be, and it's the thing, he said a lot of smart stuff, but you can't defend anyone because then the next thing he says is like enforce monogamy. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
And then you can't defend Roseanne because, yes, do I believe that when Roseanne came back, she was a Trump supporter, and should she have a show? Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Right.
But now it's like, you can't call people racial slurs and expect ABC, which is owned by Disney, to back your show. You know?
Yeah.
But you can't, you try to defend somebody, and then the next week they do something even worse.
But the show is just done.
They canceled it.
Yeah. Well, Roseanne, you're always welcome on Stewed.
Roseanne, come on, Stewed.
Yeah.
Where does she work? The Lanford Lunchbox?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
The Lanford Lunch. I'm excited. I love barbecue burgers and hot dogs.
Uh-huh.
What upsets me is like a lot of barbecues, they don't have sauerkraut for the hot dog.
Yeah.
I like sauerkraut for the hot dog. What do you feel about that?
I like sauerkraut.
I like to have a little kraut for the hot dog. You know?
What are some other foods that are good on the grill? I mean, I guess maybe like a barbecue chicken. You
Steak,
like that?
barbecue chicken, you grill some wings. A lot of people are into doing fish. You ever do that? You fish with like
a whole fish?
Yeah, like put a fish on in like cellophane.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I don't have a grill. I should get one.
Yeah, I mean, I would think you would have one.
No, I don't.
Because you seem like that guy.
Yeah.
How's your brother doing?
The retarded one?
No, the other one.
Oh, he's good. He's
Good.
living with his girlfriend in Harlem. And,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Let's see. I like eating pasta outside.
It's
homemade
nice.
pasta. That's a good time.
Homemade
to
pasta salad, you
make
do that with some red peppers.
Yeah, but even doing like a lasagna or something,
Yeah.
cooking that and eating it with some people.
Can we get Laura Loomer on this show? I think it'd be the funniest thing
probably
ever.
should,
Dude, it'd
right?
be the funniest thing ever. Just ask her about food.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd be like, hey, listen, Laura. And we ask her, by the way, you're a Jew, right? I know a lot of your fans aren't thrilled with that, Laura. Can you talk to us about, Bialys?
Right.
And locks?
I tried to go to Totono's yesterday in Coney Island.
They
were
are lazy.
They're closed.
Yeah, lazy wops.
Yeah. Yeah.
Till the dough runs out. That's their thing.
Which is well, that's insane to me.
And then they also just open what days they want.
Mm-hmm.
I went there once.
Thursday
it's
to
great.
Sunday they're open. It is good pizza.
phenomenal.
And all the negative reviews are like, that lady was kind of mean.
Right. That lady's a real, dirty Bensonhurst.
Yeah.
Old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just over it.
Scungeel.
Uh-huh.
She's really hey, what do you want?
She'll come to your table on her cell phone and be what can I get you? And then I grab this. I ask someone to take a soda.
Yeah.
And then I get the soda, and she comes with the check. She goes, "Who told you to take a soda?"
I was sitting next to this guy at a wedding recently. He was just he was this kid that went to college. He was like that Brooklyn Italian, just like one of the best looking people I'd ever seen. Just you could tell kind of dumb, but huge dick. You could just tell. There's certain things you could tell about somebody.
Right. Was he tall?
Yeah, but not that tall. Like the right height, built, but not too built. Like a butt, like a peach, like a fat, just Italian. He was just a good guy, and you're like, he's gonna marry some they live in Brooklyn. Whole family's lived in Brooklyn forever. Gravesend, Brighton Beach, whatever.
Life is kind of set up for him to.
Well, to just he'll marry some hot chick. They'll have a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And I'll never get to suck his dick. And it was sad to me.
Right.
Sitting at the wedding. The wedding also had lobster that was very chewy, which I don't like when lobster's chewy.
No.
Because it's don't get too ambitious.
Yeah.
We're at a Long Island wedding. Just throw me some penne alla vodka with shrimp in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's. Do you ever see somebody who's so good looking you're sad?
Yeah.
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 It's you get to a point where you're God, but he's that kid is that Brooklyn.
I feel I used to be good looking.
Weirdly proud of that he lives in Brooklyn. There's that whole group of people that are we stuck it out. We live in Brooklyn. You know what I mean?
Which you have to travel to see that because they're all
You used to be good looking, you said?
I feel like I used to be good looking. I used to walk by a mirror and be like, I'm a good looking guy. And now, the older I get, I get the grays in my beard and the hair's turning gray. But
you're good. You're still okay.
I gotta lose some weight.
This guy was just younger and you had a real sheen on him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Youth, it's you don't appreciate it when you have it.
You don't appreciate it. And the only people who really appreciate it are pedophiles.
Right.
And, those are the people who really, I hate to say it,
Yeah.
who appreciates youth.
Matt's still going to look like a boy when he.
So you wonder when Matt ages, does it all happen at once?
Probably.
You know what I mean? Because he's a young-looking guy now.
Yeah.
But does at a certain point, does it all go?
Yeah.
Does the hair go? Does it
Maybe.
all go?
I went to a place last night, Union Pizza Works in Bushwick.
What'd
very
you think
good.
of that?
Great, good food. No, you would like it.
Yeah, okay.
Neapolitan style pizza,
I
brick
get
oven
very
pizza.
skeptical when I hear Bushwick, but I know that's like your hood.
No, I know, but yeah, it's close and it's good.
Yeah.
And Deb likes it, but
Yeah.
all the waiters were like, everyone there is
You
Italian.
ever double
and they're
date
super,
with Adam Friedland and his girlfriend?
No,
Okay.
You didn't meet. You don't know Whitney and Tom, but we went with them anyway.
Okay,
we went, and everyone's like really tall. I think they were all Northern Italian because they had like lighter hair.
Yeah,
which is like a funny dichotomy. I think the North, everyone's tall and good looking, and the South is a bunch of
Just bunch of
it's a bunch of
dirty.
monkeys, dirty like tan monkeys,
Bunch of apes.
sunburned the apes. Yeah, yeah.
Man, I'm looking forward to the summer. I really am. I just, it's a nice change of pace. Go out to Long Island, eat some seafood, soft shell crabs, some clams. I love Randazzo's Clam Bar. I know we've talked about it before. It's so fucking
We should take a
good.
little road trip though.
We
and
should
go.
because it's so good.
Because Deb loves that.
That
stuff,
kid
so.
that I'm talking about at the wedding, I was like, "You ever been to Randazzo?" I was trying to talk to him too much. He was getting uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, you ever been to Randazzo's Clam Bar? He was like, "Yeah, I was there yesterday."
Oh yeah.
I was just like, "Yeah, great."
It's pretty. I think there used to be vacation
You
homes
went
down
there and you didn't like it. You got sick.
I got sick.
Yeah, but I don't know what to tell you.
I'll go back. I'm just not a shellfish guy. I
Yeah,
don't do shellfish.
that zuppa, the clams, the fucking calamari with sauce. Everything's good.
I'll tell you what they had at this restaurant. They had a fried calamari, but they served it with like a relish, like an artichoke and pickle
Interesting.
relish.
Because most people do either like an aioli or a tomato sauce.
Or tomato sauce.
But
this
I like
was
a relish.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I mean, I'm
You
a
should
big
go.
seafood
I might try to
dude.
make it, yeah.
I mean, the summers, that's the whole thing. Eating seafood, shellfish, lobster, crab.
Yeah.
You know?
LP Steamers in Baltimore, very good.
He's
you guys are
good?
down there. Yeah, we should
Shout
get any
out to
gigs
them.
down there. They're nice. I made a breakfast pizza yesterday. That was pretty good.
What did you make?
Like a thin crust dough with a bechamel sauce, mozzarella, egg, and manchego.
So that's like a real thing.
And caramelized onions.
You're making, that's a real, how long does that take you to do, start to finish?
It took about an hour to make.
That's
By
a
the
lot.
time because I mixed the dough. I caramelized the onions. I made the bechamel sauce. I cooked everything.
And who eats it? Just you and Haynes?
Yeah, Deb and Deb's sister was visiting. So,
Oh,
and then
that's good. What should she do?
Yeah, she's a nurse on Staten
Okay.
Island.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, she just got broken up with. So
Really? What
so-
happened?
The guy, she's dating a guy who's like 24, and she's like 32. And he was like not into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad. Well, maybe that enforced monogamy wasn't the word. Apologies, Dr. Peterson. Apologies.
What do you think? You ever see yourself? Actually, do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
You want to talk about Asoba for a little bit?
Sure, yeah. I don't even know how we know him, but I love him.
Yeah, he's kind of one of the reasons why
He's one of
we're-
those guys where it's like, I'm going to say I love him, and then tomorrow he'll say something on Facebook where it's like, God, I can't co-sign that,
You
but I
gotta
still
take a
like.
little
I
break
like
for a
that
little
he's
bit.
saying it.
Yeah.
I like that he's saying it.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
great.
There's something really special about the guy. He's like the ultimate troll. He doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, and also
good.
he seems like a very good father.
No, he's like a great dad.
He's a great dad.
I think he's a good husband.
Yeah.
He's an intelligent guy.
Yeah,
He's an interesting guy.
logical. Yeah,
He's an
I guess
interesting-
maybe the empathy is lacking a little bit.
Yeah, but
you
here's
know,
the deal,
but-
man. I'm so much with him in the sense that I don't mean I'm with him but I do understand like a lot of what he's saying. He's like, I take care of my family.
Yeah,
this is the most important thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
I feel like if everyone was like him, right? So here's the
Yeah.
argument. If
Well, so
everyone
maybe
was
we
like
should give a
taking
little,
care of
maybe
their
we should give a little
family,
background about this guy.
Sure.
He's a guy. He's sort of like Tim and I don't know how we know him. We just became. He's like a podcast fan. We become Facebook friends with him. He's always seemed to find a way to like insert himself into arguments, and the stuff that he says is just so unfiltered and funny.
Yeah,
and
he
you said
really
this-
is funny.
And then you said
Truly
like
funny.
You said I trust him. You said I can't help but trust the guy.
I trust his
'Cause you
like
feel like he's not
instincts.
gonna. I trust his instincts.
Yeah,
you feel like he's not going to lie to you.
He's honest, and he's like he comes from this radical libertarian wing, but I think he's kind of moved away from that.
Yeah, he doesn't like the libertarians.
No, because I think what he said is he's skeptical of the government, and he's equally skeptical of big business and big government. Like he really is like one of those guys that like this is kind of why I associate with him. Where it's like he's a lone ranger.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we live in a fucked up world. I'm taking care of my family.
Yeah.
And if everyone kind of felt like that, we need a lot less.
Right.
People wouldn't fall prey as easily to scams from these big business, You know, people are like getting junk credit cards and loans and all this stuff.
Yeah, and the stuff he says is so funny. Like I ranked like the top 5 Italian foods, and then someone in the thread goes, "What about no love for baked ziti?" And
Yeah.
Brad just chimes in out of nowhere. He goes, "Baked ziti is what you eat at your shitty grandfather's retirement party or for your faggot coworker."
He's
He's
right.
like, "Fuck
He's
baked
right.
ziti."
He's so
and he's
right.
right. Fuck baked ziti.
A lot of
you know?
times he hits the nail on the head.
Yeah, he stopped listening to me and Matt's show.
Now, what happened?
Something happened where, like, he said something about Matt or something. Him and Matt got into it.
What
I don't
happened,
exactly
Matt?
remember what happened.
Can you get a mic and tell us what happened, Matt?
I don't really remember. He said something
What
like
size shoe are you?
13.
Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Tell us what happened, Matt.
He basically just said I'm not as good as a co-host, and he's right. And like,
well, who was the other co-host?
Nobody.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So,
and that hurt you a little bit.
I mean, like, yeah, of course, but he's like, I'm gonna.
Matt is getting better.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you both, but he.
By 2040, Matt's going to be great.
He did.
I'm telling you, right. America will have divided, and a lot of states will have seceded. We'll be a country of territories, but you know, Matt will be top notch. Go on.
He did a screen cap of like unsubscribe. He's like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, he posted a picture of the unsubscribe thing. Now the thing with Matt is like people do shit on him, but you know, in terms of like showing up and getting the episodes out on time and editing and everything, you really can't ask for somebody better. He's just not Matt's just not like aspirational, I guess.
Yeah.
is what you know.
Yeah.
He's not like I want to be. He doesn't have that like I want to be the best shark.
I think
type
he
of
wants
thing.
to do what he wants to do.
I think he enjoys life.
Yeah,
Which I don't enjoy life.
No,
I never
neither do
have.
I. No,
since
no.
I was a child, never enjoyed.
No, that's why I
Yeah.
talk about clams so much.
Yeah.
No, I think Matt has a beautiful energy about him, and I'm
Yeah.
dead serious about this.
Yeah.
People like me, people like you,
Yeah.
our energy is not. It's more. It's darker.
It's darker.
more
It's combative.
Yeah, it's frenetic. It's like people are turned off by it.
Yeah.
But then it can become
We sort of thrive on conflict, I guess.
It
we like
becomes
the conflict of-
funny.
yeah.
because it's like got nowhere to go except funny. It's very unhealthy.
Yeah.
But Matt's a guy where I feel like he's really enjoying life. They go into a
Yeah.
cabin, him and his lady.
They post pictures.
You know?
You can tell that Shelby makes him like pose for the photo. They
Oh,
take
yeah,
him at
he-
3 or 4.
And now, if
You
it was
know,
up to you, like I know Shelby's like likes living in New York. Dude, would you just get out of New York? Would you like go live somewhere else, like with her? You would, right? Yeah. I don't blame you, man. I would if I could, I would get out of here.
Yeah.
I could see you in Atlanta, quieter life, you know, in the city or maybe the suburbs, like a few minutes out of the city. Really? The city? I see you maybe in nice little suburbs. It's quiet. You know what I mean? It's a little less expensive. It's cheaper.
Where would you go if you could teleport? You didn't have to live in New York or LA. Where would you go?
You know, I go on the road a lot doing comedy, and there's a few places that I really have developed a fondness for.
Yeah.
And they are the Upper East Side of Manhattan and Beverly Hills. And the reason I do is because I feel that the people there are
just
human beings.
Right.
Human beings.
Right.
When I just got back from Cincinnati, Ohio,
Uh-huh.
that is a life substance.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Uh-huh.
No, where would I go? I really, to be honest with you, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Texas. I've always liked Texas.
Okay.
I like Texas.
Would you go to like an Austin or
No,
maybe more of like
Dallas, suburb of Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You wouldn't get bored?
I don't know. I would want to get bored because I think that would be the move because I've been in an area my whole life where it's impossible to kind of be bored because New York is like this fucking, the frequency is so high, it's so fast paced.
Yeah.
I would want to go somewhere. I mean, I love New Orleans
Yeah.
too. That could be a thought, but that's still too much going on.
Yeah.
I would like to go out to live somewhere and just be like, real suburban, dead.
Yeah.
But, I like Texas. I kind of dig it. It's clean. It's, lawful. There are laws.
Yeah.
Everybody's armed.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Did you get hit as a child?
Not enough.
Yeah.
Not nearly enough, There was not enough corporal punishment.
Sure.
I was hit a few times.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, here and there.
Did you ever get hit, Matt?
Do you ever feel like you want to get hit now? Do you ever feel like okay, all right, it's just
fried chicken. Have you had
it's
fried
very
chicken
good.
in a while?
I had some
Yeah.
recently in Cincinnati. It was not that great.
Okay.
They took me out. Like Mark Chalafou, sweet guy, took me out to like some restaurant. He's like,
Yeah.
"It's like the best fried chicken in the city," and I'm like, it's
Uh-huh.
I love fried chicken. You know, I love it. I want to go to a real cookout.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like a black cookout.
Right.
White cookouts are bad.
How do you get invited to one of those?
I think Yamanika, maybe.
Yeah.
Like something, maybe not, but.
You got to find who's got leads.
No, I have black friends. I just have it. Like, I don't have any, like, nobody invites me any, because I'm always traveling. Nobody invites me. Like, but I mean, you can't go to a white, like, if you have white potato salad, it's like, this is not it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to go to like a real.
They always say that, but how hard is potato salad,
dude?
though?
You gotta the recipes in the South and like just the whole idea of like a cookout to me is like you can't do that in Connecticut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With a bunch of people who are like, I majored in marketing. Here's my potato. It's like, no, I want somebody who's like cooking food's part of their life.
Yeah.
Part of their tradition.
Yeah.
Like Italians.
Right.
You know?
We didn't learn how to read, but we made the.
Italians are, they're emotional people.
Yeah.
And they're driven by their emotions.
Right.
Very interesting.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why their food's so good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You have ice cream here, Matt? Yeah. Ice cream trucks are nice in the summer. Mr. Softy comes around. Sometimes they fight each other with bats, the Mr. Softy guys.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, that's true. They actually get in territory fights where they get out of the car and chase each other with bats.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's part of what it's the fun of, it's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading this thing. I was at Caroline's yesterday. I was reading this thing about Suda the elephant. And they're like, this elephant's painting a portrait of itself. It was on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody's like, oh, I Googled it. They beat the elephant into like painting its own portrait. They torture and beat the elephant so that it can paint itself.
Uh-huh.
It was so fucked up. And it's like a lot of things get beat and very few things become an artist.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's kind of interesting.
It's almost like you wouldn't have the art if you didn't beat the elephant.
How many elephants had to get beaten before they figured out the right way
Or the right elephant.
Or the right elephant,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's really crazy.
Yeah.
I would eat conflict meat. I would eat an endangered species, you know?
Uh-huh.
You wouldn't, would you? I would eat an endangered species.
Like what kind of species?
If
Like a
somebody
tiger?
said I got
like a
an
panda
eagle,
bear?
if somebody's like, I got a bald eagle, and like, I just cooked it, would you eat it? I'm like, yeah.
I guess if they cooked it, yeah, what's the...
I'd eat. Would you eat a person? Would you try human meat? I would.
Probably. Why? You wouldn't have an ethical dilemma about it, or...
No, it's kind of interesting, you know?
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting.
Wonder what it tastes like.
I think fatty,
Yeah.
depending on who you get.
Right.
But I would, if it was like
You should be allowed to like eat your grandmother after she dies or something.
Yeah, but I think if it was like ethically done
Uh-huh.
and it was good, like I don't have any problem with it.
Right.
We should interview a chef. What about Mario Batali?
Let's get him on.
What do you think about him? He'd be really good.
Yeah.
What's he been up to recently?
I don't know, but I know somebody who worked at one of his restaurants.
Did
or
they
she
get
worked at the
fingered while they
Spotted
were
Pig.
sleeping?
Yeah, they said they called him like the Red Menace or something. He would come in
Really?
and just harass everybody and like
Dude.
which like I guess you wouldn't think it because he seems like kind of a mild mannered guy, but there was always something a little bit.
There was something
off about his
Yeah, man.
personality.
I
Like,
agree.
You would think like a big fat Northern Italian guy with a ponytail would be more jolly or whatever, but he wasn't. He
No.
wasn't jolly.
There was something wrong.
Yeah.
There was something wrong with
Yeah.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I'm with you
Yeah.
on that. I'm with you 100%.
What about Joe Bastianich, Lydia's son? Because I remember
Is
my
he
dad.
really a chef or is he just, he's a restaurateur?
Yeah, so my dad would watch cooking shows on PBS, and there was a lady, Marianne Esposito, who's kind of like...
Yeah, she's like...
She sucks, right?
She's the dumb
We've talked
version
about
of
this
Lydia.
before.
Yeah.
She's dumb Lydia, yeah.
Yeah.
My dad would be like, this fat bitch. I want
Yeah,
Lydia
yeah.
to come on. And then Lydia would come on. My dad would be like, I really like Lydia. But he would always like shit on her son. He'd be like,
Yeah.
this freaking walrus. Because he would just kind of stand there. He was fatter.
Oh, yeah. She would call him in and she'd be like, you know what Joe likes? That I make everything because he's a fat pig. I don't know why I'm doing a Russian accent.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Tutti tavola a mangiato, which means this fat fuck will eat it.
Yeah. He will put it in his mouth and enjoy it.
I mean, I like Lydia, man. I was a big fan of Lydia. I love Jacques Pepin cooking with Claudette.
His daughter, remember that? He used to talk. He used to bring his
Vaguely,
daughter,
yeah.
and he clearly hated women. He's like, Claudette will watch because she's more suited to have babies.
He has the lisp, right?
Yes, she will have babies, and I will make the food and build the business like the man does. Claudette will offer. She will stand and be pretty.
How about that show, The Frugal Gourmet, with that guy Jeff?
Yeah.
Jeff something. He like molested some boys or
Oh,
something.
I'm
like
sure
that.
he did. I
Yeah.
forget that show. I know the Galloping Gourmet. That was the old school guy, right? He's like one of the
Maybe.
first ones.
Yeah.
The Frugal Gourmet molested some boy.
His
You
name
know
was
what's really
Jeff
frugal? Cock. That's the cheapest meat.
Yeah.
If you know how to fucking
Hunt for it.
apply pressure the right ways.
Yeah.
Now, who wants a blizzard from Dairy Queen?
I guess we have to wrap up in a little bit. But,
Yeah, I mean, it's been we this is our first episode back. How many minutes are we, Matt?
We're at.
Has
Oh,
anyone
all right.
ever given you a blumpkin, Matt? While you're shitting on the toilet, has anyone blown you? Interesting. What is your wildest fantasy? Would you ever have a threesome with another man and Shelby if Shelby wanted to be pleasured by another man? Why? Would you be threatened?
Why would you deprive her?
Yeah, she wanted it.
Yeah.
So you'd allow it. It would be weird, right? Okay. What if she said, Matt, my fantasy is to watch you get fucked? What would you say? I love that he's thinking about it. This is modern men. He's a modern guy. He's a modern guy. That's just interesting. I'm not around that many people in relationships.
In what context did Roseanne call someone an ape?
On Twitter, I think she just wrote,
Planet of the
Valerie
Apes.
Jarrett looks like the child of the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
I don't know that there was a real context.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like, I don't think she was responding to a tweet where it was like, what government official looks like an ape?
No, but now all these people are like out of a job.
Well, here's the thing, man. We're living in a world right now where comedians are cheering on other people getting opportunities taken away.
Uh-huh.
They want Bill Maher fired. They want everybody fired that doesn't agree with him. Anyone that ideologically steps out
People
of
want
line.
Bill Maher fired because he's been on TV for 100 years.
No,
it's like maybe
because
give
no,
somebody
that's
else
not
a
true.
shot.
Because he's criticized, people's inability to criticize Islam. Bill Maher's talked about that. He's done some certain things that have pissed off the hard left. They're angry with him. They're angry with Roseanne, justifiably. I understand. They're angry with people, but you're cheering people like Laura Ingraham. Oh, she's losing all her sponsors. This is going to come around for you. Who are these people that don't think that one day they're going to make the wrong joke?
Yeah.
They're going to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Their career is going to be on the chopping block. They don't believe that. They don't believe that. And
Are you like a huge fan of Bill Maher?
Bill Maher is more successful in this business than 99% of people.
Right.
I don't call for people to be fired because I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
So I don't call for other comedians to be fired. I
wouldn't call for Bill Maher to be fired. I would just say maybe there's somebody else who could fill that
Sure,
slot. They could do
that's
it
a
better.
different conversation, but that's not
Okay.
what I'm talking about.
Okay.
A lot of people come out after he said the N-word, which was stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
But they were like, fire him. He should be off. And these are comedians. These are other comics who make their living talking.
Yeah.
Though they don't, but they
Right.
purportedly want to.
Want to, yeah.
And they think that they'll never say the wrong thing and that people shouldn't be given a little space to be wrong and to say the wrong thing, that they should have all their opportunities immediately taken away from them.
Yeah.
That's the world that we want to live in, shaming people and then exiling them from society. Most people, which is disturbing to have learned over the last year, most people are very comfortable with totalitarianism as long as they feel that their side is in control.
Uh-huh.
Whether it's the people on the left or the right. They really don't believe in democracy. I don't think anyone really likes democracy.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody wants just their own ideas in action.
Yeah.
And they want other people to be silenced and other people to lose their platforms. And to me, I'm like, that's not the way you have a society.
Mm-hmm.
The give and take, the debate, the fight, that produces things.
Right.
Conflict produces things that are some of the best writers' rooms I know. Amy Schumer's writers' room.
Uh-huh.
Great sketches.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Kurt Metzger, Jesse Klein. These people didn't agree on much.
Yeah.
So the reality is taking away that element, that confrontation, that clash
Mm-hmm.
is where you get
big problems is I think you get a lot of good shit from that.
Yeah.
That collision of ideas. And people want to take that away.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Yeah. I guess I wouldn't call for anyone to be fired. I guess I feel like it doesn't really bug me when they are, when people on the right.
I'm not bugged either. I'm not bugged. I'm not like, oh, Roseanne made a dumb move.
Yeah.
She's working for fucking Disney.
Yeah.
She's an idiot.
Yeah.
But am I a guy who's going to go on social media and fucking say why someone shouldn't be fired? No, because then I feel like I'm an industry person and I want to be the furthest thing from that.
Right.
That's not what I am. I am responsible for what I say. You understand? I'm not bankrolling Roseanne's show. I don't have to make any of those decisions. So why the fuck am I going to act like I am?
Yeah.
Why am I going to go on Twitter and go, oh, here's the way it should be?
Yeah.
No. Run your own career.
Right.
Make your own show.
Right.
Get your own following.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Right, Matt?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's right, Matt. Matt hates me.
What do you mean?
You know, he's like I've had enough.
Matt doesn't have really much emotional or intellectual capability.
He doesn't have a ton of range, which is interesting. He just loves smoking that pipe.
Well, he kind of takes on whoever he's working with, which is good for
Interesting.
me. But
Yeah.
you know, we were driving through Bedside the other day, and this black guy like approached the car, and he was
Yeah.
like, "So, but you're saying I like can't lock my door?" And I was like, you know, it's kind of bad if you
Right.
did. If he saw you
Yeah.
lock the door, it would be kind of shitty.
Yeah.
You have to just let him pull you out of the car and fuck your mouth.
Yeah. I mean, listen, and if there's a video of that, I'd love you to email it to me personally. What should we do if people want to hear things? Do you have a chef? Should we interview your local restaurant that you like?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah.
We'll go and do it. You want us to go eat your food? Do you own a restaurant? Do you want to buy us lunch? Do you work at Burger King? You give us something free?
Oh yeah, let us know.
Let us know.
Do
Hook
we
us
still
up.
have that email?
I don't know. What, Stu@gmail? I don't know how to get into that.
Well, all right. Well, shoot our podcast an email, sitdownpod@gmail.com. I'll forward the emails to you. And we'll
here's
figure
what
out
we want. We're trying to
tell
eat
us
for
what you
free.
want. Oh yeah,
We're trying to
We
eat
sure
for
are.
free. We're not trying to fuck around. I mean, Mike's a communist now, so I'm heading towards that tip. Let us eat for free.
Yeah.
You know, we're not trying to fucking spend money. We'll give you good advertising. Wouldn't you want your restaurant associated with this show? Right?
I think so.
I'm talking about eating Matt's ass for 30 minutes.
Anyway.
Are you clean in there? Hey, guess what? I don't care. I don't care. Welcome to Tim Dillon is Going to Hell, everybody. It is Tim Dillon. I'm here back in New York City with the great Mike Recine.
Hey.
Thank
Thanks
you for
having
coming
me.
in. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Me and Mike had a show called Stew for, how many episodes did we do?
We did a good amount. We did maybe 20.
We did 20.
Yeah.
We did 20 episodes, but on food.
Right.
On food.
Yeah, it was exhausting. Podcasting in general is just exhausting.
But it's the only thing that's left.
Yeah.
It is
I know.
exhausting, but
I
there's
know.
not. We could wait
Yeah.
to get a show on the air.
Right.
We'd be dead.
Right.
Be homeless.
Yeah.
Literally homeless on the street.
Yeah, it
You
really
know?
is. It's like what's I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but like it's the last holdout of
It's the only thing you can do that you have any control over.
Yeah.
Other than you're just sitting around
Yeah.
waiting. But we did it. We did 20 episodes on food.
Yeah.
And it was fucking rough.
Yeah.
It was a great podcast. Everybody loves it.
Liked
but
it, yeah.
you get sick of talking about gnocchi.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
There's not much else you can do. But Mike Racine's back with us.
There's also that joke
Yeah.
people go, like there's a joke about like white men doing podcasts, and
Yeah.
it's like, but this is like what we have. Like, would you make fun of a war refugee for selling cell phones in the mall?
Right.
You know?
Is that what war refugees doing?
Well, I don't
Selling
know.
cell phones in the
whatever
mall?
whatever job they have.
That's pretty good. They've assimilated pretty quickly into our society.
Yeah.
They come over, they're just they're slinging iPhone cases
Yeah.
in the mall
Right.
immediately.
Right.
They're doing fine.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing. You talk about, like, I've heard idiots say stuff like, podcast is a white man's game. It's like, no, it's everyone's game. You dumb fuck.
Yeah.
Get a MacBook.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Literally anyone can do this.
Yeah.
There's no barrier to entry. It's not one of those things where you have to be like invited to a secret
Right.
elite.
There's no gatekeepers.
Yeah,
there's no-
nothing.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
You ever
Just
fantasize?
buy Lewis lunch and then
Buy Luis Gomez lunch. You'll have a show on this network.
Yeah.
Go get his special, by the way. Luis J. Gomez presents Luis J. Gomez. Do you ever fantasize about when you quit? Because I always fantasize about when I quit, where I would live, like where I want to
you're
give
doing
up.
so well though.
I'm doing
I mean,
fine,
yeah.
but I always think about. I look at white trash. Do you ever regret that you're not fully white trash? Like I think we're partially white trash.
Yeah.
Because have you ever seen people that are 100% white trash?
They're pretty happy, right?
No one is having a better time.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody's have now. Obviously, don't tweet me and be like, "But they don't have a retirement.
They don't want it. They don't want to retire.
You know? Guys,
They want to just overdose.
their life is retirement.
Yeah.
They're literally retired.
yeah.
Their entire life.
Right.
You know, some idiot's gonna tweet me and be like, they don't have a health care. I know it's a bad system.
Who has? Nobody has health care.
I've never met anyone with health care.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's the only one I know that it has health care, probably.
Yeah.
I don't have health insurance. I should.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's every day.
But if anything catastrophic happened to you, there's enough people that like you that would give to your GoFundMe.
No, that's not at all the case. Here's a reality.
Yeah.
Here's a reality. In this game, if you get really sick or something, it's better to be liked than funny.
Yeah.
I've chosen to be funny over liked. That's the reality.
Yeah.
So if I get sick,
Yeah.
it's not happening. There's no vigil for me, but that's okay.
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
I almost don't want my life to be saved by these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
like the
die to
human
spite them.
garbage that it comprises most of who we know.
Yeah.
I don't want to owe them anything ever.
Yeah.
I think I would almost rather die.
Yeah.
I mean, that's horrible to say.
Yeah.
Or, like, I would like to do a GoFundMe, get everyone to donate to it, and then take all that money and donate it to Trump.
Right.
And then die.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, give it to Barron. And you just change the name of the GoFundMe to like buy Barron a Lego set.
which he's still playing with, even though he's 17.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
too old to.
But sometimes I look at white trash. Like I look at white guy. There seems to be such a clarity of vision and purpose. If you're like a white guy from Southern Florida who thinks he's a black guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Those people, they seem so in the pocket. Every conversation.
Focused. Yeah.
They're
They know what they
focused.
want.
They know what they want.
Yeah.
They want a badass bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll never forget there was a kid from my high school who died a couple years ago, and this girl wrote a Facebook post about him. She goes, R.I.P. God called another angel home. And I was like, I don't know how this kid died, but I don't think it was God calling him home.
Isn't it funny how God's like, how should we take him?
Yeah.
Something
ATV
quick.
accident.
Something.
God put
quick.
fentanyl in his.
God's like, let's have him OD in a safe way.
Yeah,
you know, in aisle 3.
God made him forget his motorcycle helmet.
God's like, I can't get by without this angel. I know I've got like Richard Pryor up here and all these amazing, talented people. We got Mozart, but I need this guy from Delray Beach, Florida, to come up and tell me about them hoes because he had a real way with the hoes. I mean, I have a cousin that's been in and out
God
of
needed
rehab.
to bum in Newport, I guess.
Right. God needed a Parliament light. I have a cousin who's been in and out of rehab. And down in Florida, in like Delray Beach, and she's been in and out for heroin, and it's sad, but she's doing good now.
Is she fun? She's probably fun.
She's okay.
Yeah.
She's but she's a real Florida person. Like she's got that stringy hair.
Yeah.
That looks like it's matted with sweat, even though it's probably some product she's using. And she's just, she's in it. Florida became her. Like you look at her, you're like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You live in Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of wild.
Yeah.
And so we're all in a group text, and like we have one family that's doing like really well, and their group text will be like, hey, this little guy just got into Villanova. I don't want to be in my family group text. I can't get out of it because some people have Androids.
Right.
So one text will be like, hey, the little Tommy's into Villanova now. And like, the other family in the group text has got to be like, okay, We're also doing good, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody's been in the papers yet. Everyone is still on Earth. Everybody is alive on planet Earth. So we're doing great. Or they'll be like, one of them got a dog. They're like, Kevin got a dog.
Yeah.
He got a puppy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, good.
Yeah.
Great. He got a puppy.
You hear people all the time, they'll be like, oh, you know, it's a shame that in society we measure money as a way to, you know, value people. But
Yeah.
I guess, like, I mean, what else is there?
What else is there?
If you do something valuable, right? Don't you get money?
I don't know what other people want. Like, I know that a lot of people, I think if you spend your whole life trying to get money, that's probably not good.
Yeah.
But if no part of your life's trying to get money, what are you doing? Like, what?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that don't like that metric also don't want to have families. So it's like, well, you don't want to have a family, and then you don't like just chasing money.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you like a philosopher just walking around
Yeah.
realizing
You're the old
ancient
guy
truths?
at the open mic, at the variety open mic.
Yeah, it's like, well, you're standing in the back, you know? I mean, I don't get it. I guess some people want to, you know, that's why people do, you know, here's the thing about heroin. You're focused. You're very focused
On getting heroin.
on getting heroin.
Yeah.
That's why people, I think there's part of the opiate crisis is like, it's something to do. I mean, obviously you get addicted to it,
Yeah.
but it's something to do.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Heroin addicts are never bored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
There's two states that they exist in.
Yeah, because sometimes you have those days where you wake up and you have nothing to do, and it's Wednesday, and you're like, you feel guilty that you,
Sure.
you know, but yeah,
I mean, Red Kump had that great joke where he goes, you know, I don't want to do heroin, but you try to make friends after 30.
Right.
It's not easy,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So I feel like when you're all doped up, or when you're at least on the way to getting dope, you know?
Do you want a family? Probably not. Right.
I can't imagine what that would look like. You know, I can't imagine. Maybe one day, but it would be with another horrible person, and we would raise two horrible people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it would be a family of demons.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just I don't know. I mean, I think maybe later on in life I'll be bored.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, it's looking like I will eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like terrifying because
Well,
I don't.
well,
know
are you
how I
terrified of like?
just being able to provide for.
Well, okay, that's reasonable.
and I like my apartment. I like my stuff. I like
Yeah.
where everything is. I like having a minimal amount of shit in my house.
Right, and then
Seems
when the
yeah.
kids come in, it's like a
chaos. Yeah.
big chaos.
Yeah.
Have you met anyone who's had children and then immediately been like, I fucked up?
No, my brother had a friend who did, and he said when the baby was born, he said now that the kid's older, it's like a little easier.
Yeah.
But he said when the baby was born, he was like, "What did I get myself into?"
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's like, I don't know what to do.
Well, I think maybe that's normal.
Yeah.
I had a friend that had a kid first year of college with a girl who was nuts.
Yeah.
And we all knew, like, as soon as he told me he was having a kid with this girl, I had that sinking feeling in my stomach.
Yeah.
I'm like, and my friend wasn't like a huge prize either. I'm not blaming her,
Right.
but it was just a nightmare. It was everything bad you could imagine happening, and then things you couldn't imagine also happening that were horrible.
Like
you
what?
know,
Like what?
like she accused him of molesting the kid.
Jesus.
This is how bad it was.
I know, but like that,
This is how bad it is.
Just the accusation is.
They don't tell you
I'm gonna
that.
come alive now.
They don't
Yeah.
tell you that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So you have to, like, this is literally what?
How do you prove that you didn't?
Jesus. This is how fucking nuts that thing got.
Yeah.
This is how terrifying. I mean, he should go from school to school,
Yeah.
high school to high school, talking about how bad it
Yeah.
got.
And the show's called "I Didn't Do It." or
I didn't
something.
do it.
Yeah. I was accused.
It's a one-man show. It's called The Accused.
Yeah.
And he has to go around because
If you get accused of molesting a kid, you might as well just molest a kid.
you might as well give it a shot. But no, I mean, think of how sick this bitch had to be
Yeah.
to say that. But again, when you're in like war, when you love someone,
Do whatever you can.
and then you go to war with them, which I've never been in that position, and maybe you have, I don't know. But I've seen people that love each other and then go to war. There's nothing that, like, I mean, I've said this, I've said it before. I spend time out of I take time out of my day to hate other people and look at their accomplishments and seethe with envy. I would never accuse them of being a child molester.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
But it's also like, that's kind of what when there's no rules in love and war, that fucking saying.
Yeah.
When he told us that was happening, I don't know if he directly told me. I think another one of our friends told me that was happening. I was like, oh, this is nuts.
Yeah. How old was the kid at the time?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah.
But it's like a crazy thing that terrifies you. Have kids with the right person.
Yeah.
If you don't, and the kid's a beautiful kid, he's a great kid, you know, but if you don't have kids with the right person, your life is going to be miserable. It's going to be very tough. Do you know anyone who's in that situation?
No, not really.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton of people.
Yeah.
You know? What do you think about abortion? You think we should just lock those pussies up? Make those women carry them to term?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, it is.
I think
it is
so.
a murder, right?
Stop killing your kids.
Yeah,
whores.
Right. Listen, it's not rocket science. Don't suck the baby out of your womb.
Yeah.
You know?
How about that?
Yeah.
Every day, someone walks into the studio, okay, and they're more disturbing looking. Every single day, Lewis hires someone who looks more and more like a cult member.
But he's a nice kid.
Who is this kid? I've never seen this kid before in my life. There's a kid that we're looking at here. He just comes in.
Yeah.
He sits here, and here's where the Gas Digital Studio look. There's like a pane of glass, and then on the other side, people just sit there and then they stare at you.
Yeah.
Who is this kid?
Lewis just goes to prisons and borrows kids in the Scared Straight program.
I think Lewis just goes to finds these kids wandering around the East Village, squatting, and he's like, "You want to come in and work for a podcast network?" They're like, "What?
Yeah.
Who is this kid? Do you know him?"
Yeah. He's a nice kid.
How do you know him?
He was here when I came to do Real Ass Podcast.
Oh,
He's
is he a
friendly
comedian?
and-
What is he?
No, but he will be eventually, probably. You know.
Are you a comedian? You will be eventually. I've been spending a lot of time in Los Angeles. You like it over there? You don't like
I haven't been in a long time, but yeah, it's nice. It's nice to go for, I think, more than 5 days. I think you start to go a little nuts.
I was there for 2 months.
Yeah. How was it?
I like it. I'm probably getting ready to
Got up a
move
lot?
eventually.
Yeah, you should.
I don't know. I think it's time to go. I'm just getting. I've kind of had enough with New York.
I've had enough too.
I wish everyone the best. I love them.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that. I don't mean either one of those things. I wish pain on most of the people that live here. And I think that,
Are you sick of living here? I'm sick of living here.
Sick of it all.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it all. My roommate's girlfriend, texts me. I'm not even off the plane.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, the landlady came over. She's drunk. She's calling me a whore. Yeah, same roommate. She's calling me a whore because she didn't like that I had keys to the apartment. Can you let me know when you're back if she's still there? Because I don't want to come back.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
Welcome home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just get too old.
Yeah.
Get too old for it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you just feel like there's someone's foot on your neck all the time.
Yeah. I've really lost. I've lost my passion.
The subway's terrible. There's
subway
traffic
barely
everywhere.
works.
It's just hard. Just living is
now and then. Also, right after this, I got to run to do a voiceover and I got to take an Uber. But now there's a cap on how many cars are in New York City.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is my issue with the Ocasio-Cortez and them. It's like, I'm all for soaking the rich, kill the rich, fine, drag them out of their house, throw them out of their penthouse apartment. Whatever you want to do. I'm not defending them.
Okay.
But when you do a lot of these things, with the carbon tax and something, it really hits people that are just trying to survive. So if you're taking an Uber pool to try to get to your job and you cap the amount of cars for environmental concerns, and I get it. I get why you don't want all these,
Not as many people can.
100%. Then you're just forcing the prices up of these things.
Yeah.
And listen, if the subway worked, I get it.
Yeah.
If you had a modern subway system, you could turn around to people and go, "Hey, fuck you."
Yeah.
You want to ride in a car, pay the price.
Yeah.
But
I was thinking this today. They really
Yeah.
should just get a bunch of autistic people and pay them in candy to drive the train.
That's how Lewis runs his network.
Yeah.
That's how Lewis runs his network.
Right.
A bunch of
the MTA
autistic
hires
people
Lewis as a consultant.
that he pays in Fun Dip
Yeah.
to run this network.
Yeah.
I mean, these people. I mean, look at these people that are here. These are like old New York people.
Yeah.
These aren't even new New York. This is like a throwback to like the early '90s. This is a guy you would see in the early '90s, like walking around, getting asked to leave a strip club in Times Square.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
He looks like an extra in Taxi Driver.
it's
He's just,
exactly what he looks like.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but I don't know, man. I'm starting to just feel the frustration with New York, where I'm just like, you know what, enough's enough. How is your lady? She's still doing the speech pathology.
Yeah, she's good. She's got a podcast actually, a speech pathology podcast.
A speech pathology
And,
podcast.
Yeah.
About
Talk
what is that about?
Just talk about speech therapy and stuff.
Yeah?
So, yeah, she's doing good. She's working hard. I don't know. No complaints.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's on her period right now.
Oh, she's getting mouthy.
Yeah.
You hit her?
No, I want
You ever grab her and just shake her?
No.
My uncle told me when I was a young kid, he said, women are emotional animals.
Yeah.
And he goes, women are very emotional and sometimes have to be restrained physically.
Mm-hmm. They're chaotic.
That's what he said.
As Jordan Peterson would say.
That's what my uncle said to me when I was a young kid. He said,
Yeah.
women are very emotional and they need to be handled physically.
Right. And they kind of like it. They kind of like to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because they're looking for an antidote to their.
Does any woman
own
want to
chaos.
fuck like the Chris Hayes type guy at MSNBC?
I don't think so.
Like the cucky guy.
They probably think that they do.
They think they do, right?
yeah.
But nobody wants to really because
No, they want Sean Hannity.
I don't want to suck off Chris Hayes.
Yeah.
You
Who
know
do you
what I
want to
mean?
suck off? Who's a media personality?
Media
that you
person
wanna...
that I want to suck off. Interesting.
Hannity?
Not really.
No.
I don't like his head.
Yeah. But not somebody like Olbermann or
No.
let's see who. Yeah.
I'm not really.
What about Brian Kilmeade from Fox? and
No.
Friends? Gutfeld?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Not Tucker really either.
Yeah.
Tucker more to the.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Andrea Tantaros, I think, she's really hot from Fox News. I think
Yeah,
the
she's
hottest
not.
one.
She's no longer on though.
Oh no.
Yeah, because Roger Ailes was,
Okay.
was inappropriate. I think she demanded a huge settlement. Maybe she got one, but she what's the future of like Fox?
I don't know.
Where do they,
I don't know.
It's an interesting. What's the future of that kind of news? Like, who is still watch? Like, I guess people watch it. Old
Elderly,
people
yeah,
watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't watch that. I haven't watched news like that in years.
Yeah. Where do you get your news?
Usually online.
Yeah.
I'll read the articles. If they come up on Twitter, I'll see them on, maybe I'll go to Drudge and I'll look at some different articles. But like, who is still watching news where you get like, it's a 4-minute segment
Yeah.
where two people each get,
MSNBC is like the most baffling too because it's boring. It's not even like fun like Fox. They don't even really tell you that great of a story.
Well, MSNBC is also weird because you're like, we hate Trump, and then they bring on like Bush era torture apologists.
Yeah.
Like military-industrial complex shills.
Yeah.
To come on and be like, we should be in Syria fucking them up.
Right.
Rachel Maddow's like, yeah. And I'm like,
right.
wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
I thought, what happened to the Dove Network? What happened? But you try to get a lot of these independent journalists on too, and they all have egos, and they're all a fucking problem. You try to get them on to talk to them. They got something better to do.
They do have egos a little bit, yeah.
They've always, they're always doing something that's more important than coming in here and sitting down and talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fuck them.
They'll learn eventually.
They'll learn.
You'll throw them in jail someday.
I hope to God I'm powerful enough to jail them all.
Yeah.
Torture
Anyone
them.
who said no to your podcast just gets thrown in jail.
Right to jail.
Yeah.
To the gulag,
Yeah.
sir.
That is fun, right?
Yeah.
Throwing your opponents in jail. Jailing your
Yeah.
opponents.
Well, it's like the far right or the far left, if those people ever got power, that's exactly what they would do. Like the people that are on the fringes that are just fueled by
Like DSA people.
absolute. I don't know. Well, DSA people, I think that's like a social club because you have people in there that have no idea why they're there.
Yeah.
They're just there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's the same
Like
thing
they're
with
open mics.
It's the same thing. It's exactly what it is. It's the same thing with like the alt-right, where it's like some people are really committed to like these really horrible ideas about like race science, everything. And then you have people that are like, I'm a goof.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to post something edgy to get attention because I'm lonely.
Right.
I'm a lonely weirdo.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like the committed, like if you're a committed communist, hardcore, or on the other side, like if a fascist who's an ethno-fascist, like either one of those groups, if they ever took power, and they never will, spoiler alert, guys, it's not going to happen. But if they ever took power, they would just start jailing people immediately. Immediately. And like the hardcore Trump supporters, like the people that are still I'm not talking about the people that still support him, because whatever, but I mean the people who think it's
like
great.
The QAnon people, yeah.
Well, the QAnon people, or the people who think that he was ordained by God.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They will just hang out.
You were talking about like white trash and how happy they are. I mean, those people must be very happy.
They're
I mean,
thrilled.
What a great story.
Nobody's happier than people at a Trump rally.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're living in a world that doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
And they're very happy.
Yeah.
But I always look at like the Florida white trash, not only in Florida, I mean, they're all over, but I look at like those white trash people and I'm like, they're the happiest people.
Yeah.
They're just happy.
Yeah.
You know, they're just fucking hanging out, smoking a cigarette outside the buffet.
Yeah.
Had a nice peach cobbler.
Yeah.
You know? You know, but, you know, it's sad that I hope to be there one day. I hope to be there one day. Maybe I'll just retire like a white trash guy.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
You save up enough and then just disappear.
Save up enough, go live somewhere down in like outside
Where would you go?
Tampa.
Tampa, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have a few friends that were like bouncers at strip clubs.
Yeah.
All they talk about is the fights they got in. That's all they talk about.
Yeah.
Just sit there through the whole dinner.
Yeah.
This one guy telling you where his scars came from.
Yeah.
That he got shot.
There's nothing wrong with being like the old guy at the strip club. You know, you see that every time. Every once in a while you'll go and there's a guy.
Someone's got to be that guy.
Somebody's got to be that guy.
Someone's got to be the guy feeding pigeons.
Yeah.
In the park.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be the guy, you know?
Yeah.
Who's defending his medicine chest from his grandson who wants his back medication.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's standing outside in his underwear with a loaded gun.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, don't fucking come in here. Don't, you know, there's somebody's got to be. How are your parents going to just stick it out in Jersey, or are they going to get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, I think so. It looks like, because my sister lives with them and, you know, my brother does too. So.
Right. My father's going to go. I think they're going down to Florida. They've had enough.
Yeah. My uncle went to North Carolina, got a house in Asheville.
Is he happy?
Yeah, I think so.
What a faggoty area of North Carolina, though, right?
Yeah, you think?
God. If you got to go there, go to the real. You know?
Where's real North Carolina? Like,
I don't know.
Just rural?
Just some field.
Yeah.
Some field where you just see red MAGA hats.
Yeah.
You know?
Where there's a mass grave.
It's just a mass grave. Which they celebrate. The people in the town celebrate the mass grave. They don't know who it is.
Do you know anything about Venezuela? I started reading a little bit.
So here's
about
the thing. I'm
last night.
trying to wrap my head around it.
Yeah, same.
Because on one side you have, here's the thing. The guy's bad. Maduro's no good.
Maduro's bad, yeah.
Very, very bad. Here's the issue. Yeah. Everyone's bad.
Yeah.
Like, if you looked at every leader, like if you just pulled up the world leaders and you went through like their policies, like you were like, what's this guy do? What's he do? You know, Brunei, they just made gay sex punishable with stoning.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because, you know, like electroshock therapy is one thing.
Right? Yeah.
But you shouldn't stone anyone. It makes them less attractive. So I'm not one of these guys who's like, Maduro's great and he's going to be, no, he's a nightmare. And I don't think that all Venezuelan problems can be blamed on U.S. policy or whatever. But man, I'm really not into like going on another like war.
Yeah.
Like another crusade, for lack of a better word, to try to like, when is that?
Right.
How is that ever, you know?
Yeah.
I really don't have any patience for that.
Yeah.
I don't have any patience for the New York Times being like, inaction as a it's like, will you get the fuck out of here
right.
with this.
Yeah. Someone's going to make money off of that.
Inaction can be great.
Yeah.
That's how America became strong.
Right.
By not getting involved.
Right.
In war after war. I mean, if there's a genocide in Venezuela, do you jump in? Sure. And is the argument that there is one happening now? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with people. Listen, people are going to make money no matter what happens, but I don't know. There's no part of me that thinks we're going to do whatever war, you know?
Right.
But I also don't
have the interest of those people in mind, right?
Do we care? We don't really care. But then the other part of me is like, all the people on the left are like, no, this Maduro's great. It's trying to do the right thing. It's oh, you guys will back anyone.
Yeah.
No matter what,
Gives you free shit.
Yeah, as long as they're anti-American.
Yeah.
And that, you don't care how high the graves. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, these people, they defend Stalin, like, not ironically, to your face. They're like, what do you mean? Like, so it's like, okay, well, can't we admit? And then the reality is, like, would you rather be in Russia? Could you be making $1 million a year off your podcast criticizing Putin? I don't know. Could you? I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, is Russia a better place to live? I mean, that's really, to me, that's the fundamental question. Would you rather be living in Moscow than here? I can't find too many serious people that say yes.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, yeah, we got a lot of flaws. We have a lot of problems. I still think for whatever reason, I mean, what have you learned about the Venezuela situation?
Not much. It just seems like, Maduro's bad, but I guess this other guy's probably bad too. But then some video said that like a bunch of countries support this other guy. So,
well, here's the other thing. A lot of these pro-Maduro protests are not Venezuelans.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at them, it's like white people.
Kids,
It's like white kids from Brooklyn being like, stop it.
Yeah.
Yes, queen.
Yeah.
Maduro. And it's like, okay. It's like, are you from Venezuela? They're like, yes, bet. And it's like, you're not.
Right.
You're not from Venezuela, And it's the other thing. It's like, I respect people, from that country that tell me what's going on. When I talked to Cubans, they were like, yeah, we hated Castro.
Yeah.
But I've talked to a lot of white people that say how great he was.
Yeah.
So that becomes...
I think it depends on who you are, maybe. What kind of Cuban you are, or where you...
I haven't met a ton of Cubans that said he was great.
They said he was great, yeah.
Now, maybe they're out there.
Yeah.
But I haven't met a ton. I'm just going by the Cubans that I've met.
Yeah.
Have not been fans.
Right.
But white people... whose parents live on the Upper West Side, in $1 million apartment building, you think he's great.
Yeah.
They think what he tried to do was really laudable and nice.
Yeah.
But then you talk to Cubans and they go, no, he just imprisoned people. People were terrified of speaking, out against him. There was, night raids and, people had disappeared.
Right.
And then you talk to somebody who's like, and they're like, yeah, no, he was good, I mean, that's the thing, man. I mean, I think that's the thing, and that's kind of the problem where you're on the far left and the far right, too. It doesn't seem like those guys, when they're just ideologues, they don't seem to care, like, the real-world consequences of what they believe. It's like these libertarians that believe only in the market.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Show them evidence of all of this not working. They don't care.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, because in their perfect world... If everyone listened to that, I'm really scared of people who go, if everyone listened to me, this thing would look a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Huh? So all throughout human history, everybody's tried to figure this out, but you've got it. You figured it out. And that's like, okay, well then what are you doing? And they're like, yeah, I'm an unmarried open micer who lives on a floor.
Yeah.
But I've figured out the global economy. I'm a mover.
Yeah.
I move people, but I figured out the global economy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I people all the time. I know less every year because I really don't know. I don't think you'll be able to, like, I'm not staunchly against. There's a lot of socialist proposals I think are probably necessary. You need them. Especially with the world looking the way it does going forward, whether it's universal basic income or whether it's a national health care, socialized medicine.
Yeah.
which for a long time, and still I wonder how it would work. But for a long time, I was like, principle. I was against on principle, and then I was like, well, then how? Then I realized I was like, but the insurance markets don't function properly. Like they don't work like other markets do.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no one seems to like their health insurance.
No, nobody feels like they got a great deal.
Got a great deal, yeah.
I'm happy. They don't, because people don't buy it until they need it.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these problems with the way insurance market. But then there are people that'll be like, no markets function. So then I'm just like, well, then how does that look?
Yeah.
How does that look where there's no market?
This market functions pretty well. This little,
I mean,
this little subscription-based.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, why do I get up if I don't have the chance to make more money than someone else? Why am I trying to do anything?
Right.
Literally.
Right.
I
mean, feels good to have more than people.
No, it feels good to be recognized. I mean, I don't know if it feels good to have more than people. It feels good to be recognized for what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the monetary compensation is the point of that.
Yeah.
Because you'll always have more. Here's the thing. You'll always have more than people in some category.
Mm-hmm.
There's some category where you'll always have more than people. I'm sure that. Does it feel good to have an 8-inch dick?
Yeah, it does.
You have more than people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're more than people.
Yeah.
So you feel good to be 6'4"?
Yeah.
You have more than people.
Probably, yeah.
Feels good to live in New York or LA or something, or as opposed to like a town in West Texas with one road in and out, you know? But no one's ever explained to me how the system works if I am not incentivized to work hard.
Sure.
You know? And I'm open to hearing how. No one's ever broken it down for me and said, well, this is what happens. This is because I know human beings. I am a human being. They need motivation.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess you do kind of forget about that if you think collectively too much. You sort of lose that, like, you lose your competitive edge a little bit.
Well, I think like collectivist thinking I think we need to have it in certain cases.
Mm-hmm.
Like there needs to be certain instances where we have to think as a group because the dangers that we face are not individual, right? So like, I think that would like, not this new thing now where we go to war every 5 minutes, but like war is an example of like, a country's going to fight us, or a group of people, whether it's terrorism or whatever, that impacts a society. You have to think about how to deal with that collectively.
Mm-hmm.
You can't individually think about, it's not like everybody's going to be like, all right, how do we deal with Al-Qaeda or whatever?
Right.
Healthcare is probably a collective issue.
Thing, yeah.
For the most part. Caring for people that are vulnerable is, food.
Mm-hmm.
The safety of food, the safety of medication. I don't want every individual person being like, I wonder if this pill's real.
Yeah.
I wonder if this InfoWars supplement I bought.
Research where your food comes from.
Yeah, I mean, those are all issues.
Yeah.
But then there are issues where it's like, well, people go guaranteed housing, guaranteed employment.
Mm-hmm.
You go, okay, but what?
Yeah, some people don't work very hard, and you wouldn't want to.
But it's also
work with them.
What jobs that are guaranteed are going to be good?
Yeah,
like who? Like if you're handed a job, what that level of work, is that going to be? Now, some people, if you do a public works program or whatever, the government can help you out. But like for the most part, it's like. People like choice. People like to choose what they're going to do, where they're going to live.
Yeah.
I think there are some people that don't want that to be a thing.
Yeah.
Like there's some people that would go, we don't think you should be able to choose where you live. It's literal. They would tell you that.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, they don't think there should be any private market for rent. They don't think there should be any private. So everything is some government. The government will have to be in charge of where you live, how much you pay, where you work. I mean, to me, that sounds crazy. It sounds like a crazy lot, but people think it's, those are the people. And the far left and the far right aren't that far away from each other on those issues, on the same issues. They believe the same things, the same exact thing. They just believe the difference is that the far right believes that it should be for white people because America is a predominantly white country. So they go to that ethno-fascist thing. But they don't really believe in capitalism. They don't believe in markets. They don't believe in any of that. They believe in socialism. They don't believe in freedom of speech. They don't, And then on the far left, you find the exact same thing where they believe it should be for the working class. But on the same thing, they don't really believe in any type of markets or free speech or free. I mean, they would want control. So you have two groups of people that are vying for control, and neither one of them should have it. Nobody should be able. And that's why I think I'm just like nobody should be. I think every child should have a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still haven't decided what news pundit you would suck off.
I'm still trying to think. 'Cause I don't know. Is there anyone younger?
I don't know.
It's like,
I doubt younger than 40. What about that guy Jesse Waters?
The black guy?
No, he's on Fox. Oh,
No.
yeah, what's his name? That guy Charles Payne?
Should I suck off Charles Payne? I don't know. Judge Andrew Napolitano? No.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Judge Janine?
You suck off Judge Janine. I suck Janine Pirro's cock.
I don't know. Maybe Ronan Farrow. Interesting.
I think he dates the Pod Save America guy.
No, I don't know who these people are. Yeah. What do you think about Michael Jackson? Guilty? Innocent?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Innocent?
Guilty.
Guilty?
Gotta be guilty. Yeah. It's funny to see people like
defend him.
It's
great.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great when they defend him.
Yeah.
MJ didn't touch those kids.
Yeah.
What about MJ's appearance, voice, makes you think he didn't touch those kids?
Right.
Hi.
But remember, it was almost like a hacky joke to say that Michael Jackson fucks kids.
Yeah.
Because some people really were like, oh, he was just a weirdo.
Right.
Well,
he was a weirdo.
Yeah. And a pedophile.
Yeah.
Some pedophiles are not weirdos.
Some pedophiles are
They're just
decent.
Decent, yeah.
Decent mainstream people.
Yeah.
They're coaches. They're priests.
Yeah.
Let's not tar all pedophiles by saying they're all like Michael Jackson.
Right.
Some of them are just salt of the earth people.
Right.
Who like to work with kids.
Yeah.
They like to work with children. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. But I guess the psychological aspect of it was like pretty interesting because, there's all that manipulation that goes into it and like the stuff with the families and, like the way he lied to the kids and made the kids lie. And I think that's worth talking about. Because you think of pedophilia as just fucking a kid, but it's like there's many steps to it and there's a lot of manipulation that goes into it, and we should be aware of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate. How's your podcast doing? Is it good?
It's doing all right. Yeah. Run out of stuff to talk about, I think. As
you talk
do.
about the mafia, right?
Yeah. Well, all kinds of like organized crime. We might branch into some other stuff, maybe genocides or war crimes or something. It could be fun. Watched a doc on Bosnia last night. That was fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the conclusion of that?
I guess they just massacred a bunch of civilians.
Good.
Yeah.
No, it's bad. I don't know what to tell you, folks.
Yeah.
It's rough out there.
Yeah. What do you think of the Michael Jackson? Stuff. The Michael Jackson stuff.
I think it's one example of a society that really doesn't care about children. It's just one glaring example.
Yeah.
I think if you knew the full extent of how badly children were treated, it would be horrific. I mean, I just don't think it doesn't even chart in terms of the abuse that kids are subjected to.
Yeah.
And there's no Me Too for kids.
Right.
No one cares.
Right.
Kids are just told to shut up.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you want to look at the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Hollywood. Washington D.C. Like,
well, it's funny because like the Catholic Church, everybody kind of knows about that, but how come Hollywood is not really? I mean, it seems like they're pretty. It's easy
because
for
I
them
think
to
people
cover all that up.
Well, I don't think people know as much. I think people there are different incentives for staying quiet. You know. So if you're somebody who was molested but you still want to be in the business, you're less likely to say something.
Yeah.
You're less likely to speak out.
Yeah.
I think you see what happens to people that do speak out.
Yeah. What was your experience as a child actor? Did you?
I was never molested, which is why I never succeeded.
Yeah.
I should have been. I was hot as fuck.
Right.
But my parents never let me, they would take me back to Long Island. I lived in Long Island.
Yeah.
So I would just go
to
in
the
for
parties or anything.
Yeah, I would go in for auditions and then come out.
Yeah. They're like, we got to beat the traffic back, Timmy.
Yeah, they were trash.
Yeah,
so they were just like, let's go to My Pie.
Yeah.
In the Hicksville Mall.
Yeah.
They didn't really, they didn't pimp me out the way they should have.
It's because it's nice to be around like successful people, It's nice to.
What do you mean, pedophile? I don't understand. I don't understand that transition at all.
It's nice to instead of going back to Long Island, it's nice to.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sometimes it's nice to go to like a little SNL after party, or you go to.
Yeah, it's fine. I've never gone to one of those. I kind of don't care.
Yeah,
I kind of don't care. As I get older, I'm kind of like, there's parts of this business I have an interest in, and parts of them I don't. And I'm just kind of like I'm pitching some shows now. If they don't work, I think I'm going to be done with that. I think I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, if you want to make a show, I'm all ears. But,
Right. It is like you just got to keep throwing shit at that wall and seeing what.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep trying to do stuff, but I think the only thing I'm kind of now starting to obsess about the things I can control. I had a conversation with Andrew Schultz, and he got to a point where he was like, "Here's what I can control."
Yeah,
what I can control is like putting out funny videos, doing podcasts that are good,
right?
Doing live stand up that I think is funny, and that's kind of all I can control.
Yeah,
I can't control who wants what show and when, and
yeah,
I'll have meetings, I'll pitch things, I'll never like stop doing that per se, but I'm kind of done with like, I don't know that I'm going to fight a network to make a thing that I want to make and have them fight me every step of the way. And I'm like, well, this is going to turn out bad.
Yeah.
The thing I want to do is going to turn out like shit because every step of the way we've literally fought, and just get to a point where you're like, why am I fighting when I could just do something on my own independently?
Right.
It's
also got to be tough when like you're making a show and you have to talk to some network person and they're like, well, what if we did it like this? Like, I feel like of course you would be like, yes, whatever you say.
Yeah, but then you realize that it's like, here's what happens: they don't pick it up anyway.
Yeah.
So now you just have a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the majority of the time they're never gonna put that show on the air. So if you bend to their whims exclusively, now you just have a piece of shit you're embarrassed that you made.
Yeah. Podcasting, baby.
Well, I mean, doing whatever, being independent, make your own shit. I make those videos on Instagram. They're fun. I put those minute videos out. They're just funny.
Yeah.
Nobody tells me what I can say or what's inappropriate.
Who
or
shoots
what's
those for you?
My friend Ben in Los Angeles.
Oh, nice.
We do it with an iPhone.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, dude. No one needs it. Dude, iPhone.
What about sound? Don't you need good sound?
We have a whole system.
Yeah,
it's like
nice.
better than
Beautiful.
This whole idea of like you need a 15-person with 9 cat. What are you making? Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
We're trying to make people laugh.
Yeah.
Trying to make fucking chuckles.
A friend of mine recently was talking about like the stuff that like Gen Z people are into.
Yeah.
And he said it'll just be a video that's like when you want to do anal and a guy's like, can I fuck you in your ass? And then a girl's like, no. And then rap music plays.
Right.
And it has like 500 million views.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. It's like we're in another world. And you talk to some of the people that work at these networks, they don't get that.
They don't get that.
They don't get that at all.
Right.
They don't get why what they put out doesn't thrive online. And I'm like, well, you guys don't. People online are so used to no censors.
Yeah. You told me you had lunch with somebody sometime and they were like, entertainment's the only place where women are empowered. And you were like,
right,
the women in this restaurant could buy your network as a joke.
Yeah, it's exactly what I said to them. I said the women in this network in this restaurant could buy your network as a joke.
Yeah.
And they did not like that. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Women are overrepresented in real estate in New York. There's a lot of women in all kinds of industries. Publishing,
right.
fashion,
and even
finance.
if there are, even if there are disparities, it's pretty arrogant to think that your business is the only place.
Yeah, it's pretty insane to think your clown show is the only place where women are doing okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, God help us.
Yeah.
If entertainment's the only business where women are
God
empowered.
help us, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. It's gonna have to.
Well, what about Me Too? What
I would
about
tell.
that
I would
fucking
tell my
movement?
daughter to go into sex work before.
It's a much more honest way to make a living.
Show to comedy.
It's a much more honest way to make a living.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the same group of people that told me they were getting into podcasting last year. They're like, we're excited to get into podcasting. It's a network. I'm like, well, you're 8 years too late. But
Yeah. And did they? They have.
who
right?
knows?
Who
I'm
knows,
sure
yeah.
they have some things that are fun. You know?
Yeah.
I truly think we're in the Wild West now. I think they're all done.
I think so.
And I think that's really terrifying for people that are not prepared to be in that.
People who have been in it for a while and kind of think they have an understanding of it, and then it's like complete. Yeah, it's like
Totally
completely
ripped
changed.
away
It's like being a blacksmith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your people are like, yeah, that thing you did, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's what it comes down to, where you're like, you know, so you just got to basically do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Meghan McCain wants to fuck her dad's corpse. I can do that. You can't tell me not to.
Yeah.
Can't tell me not to.
You think she saw that?
I don't know. I
hope
know
she
someone that
does.
kind of knows her, and they were like, she might have even thought it was funny,
Oh yeah.
but probably not.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
She's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a hot lady. She's not really that hot, is she?
I think so.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, you like that. You like a momish.
Yeah.
You like a real mom.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. What are you going to fight with some network and go? I mean, listen, I'm not trying to be a dick. SNL's bad.
Mm-hmm.
SNL's not funny anymore. Like, and I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That opening sketch with Al Pacino or De Niro, was it De Niro who played Mueller?
De Niro played Mueller. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking loser shit.
It's for losers. Yeah.
If you're enjoying that, you're a loser.
You're a loser.
I'm not saying if you make $1 million a year to be on the show, good for you.
Yeah.
Keep killing it.
Right.
But don't delude yourself into thinking that's good.
Yeah.
That ain't good.
Oh yeah, they had De Niro play Robert Mueller like Mueller's some kind of like hero.
It's
or
just
something.
stupid. It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
There's nothing about it. It's fun. You have that dumb neoliberal audience
Yeah.
of corporate fucking stooges.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Sitting there making $800,000 a year, but they're the good guys.
Yeah.
Because they believe there should be 9 bathrooms.
Yeah.
But all these people in Ohio can eat their shoes.
Right.
And they're sitting there at SNL, and you're like, oh, God, this sucks.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah.
Really is.
Yeah.
If you like any type of subversive political commentary, it's painful.
Yeah. They'll also they'll put like Jeff Bezos in a sketch a lot, and they'll make him like the hero. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll make
of course.
him good. Yeah.
SNL is a corporate.
Yeah. It's
a corporate owned thing.
Yeah.
What do people think? That they're like the resistance?
Like that.
Huh?
Yeah.
They're a multi-billion-dollar corporate.
Right.
It's just, which I don't care about if they were funny, man.
Mm-hmm.
If that sketch was funny, I would be into it. But it's like not funny.
Yeah, but I guess they probably can't be funny.
I know.
They probably can't. They're not allowed to be.
No, there's nobody that's worked.
Imagine being an SNL writers room and go, yeah, I'm going to dress up like Meghan McCain.
Has anyone in an SNL writers room taken a public bus?
I doubt it.
Have any of them worked at a job that's like actually?
And they steal material.
Oh,
Dude, I wrote. I'll tell you what. I wrote a packet. I wrote a packet a few years ago, and I wrote a sketch where it was the TV show Girls, but they added like a Yamanika character to it, or like somebody who like actually had a hard life.
Yeah.
And then the opening sketch of that season was like the Tina Fey sketch,
which
was it was the show Girls, but they added like a character from like Bulgaria.
Oh, really?
So it's so like I could never say like they stole this from me.
No, you could.
Yeah, but it's like they changed it enough where I wouldn't, be
Yeah,
able to. But it's like the same.
They got
it's like the
accused
same
by
idea.
a sketch group online of stealing something.
Yeah, yeah.
That pumpkin patch sketch or
Yeah.
whatever they did recently.
It's like you all make $4,000 a week to
Right.
write comedy.
Can you not
have to
figure it out?
steal?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? You get your lunch catered, probably.
Yeah, I mean it's a bad.
Yeah.
It's very tough to prove
Colin
that.
Jost is HIV positive, and he gives it to people without telling them.
Colin Jost was a bug chaser for many years. He wanted to get AIDS, and then he finally got it.
Is that a real thing? A bug
He was
chaser?
a bug chaser. Yeah, it's a real thing. And he was a bug chaser for many years because he wanted to
People just want to get HIV.
He wanted a thing.
Yeah,
He was this white guy that'd gone to Harvard.
Right,
He's like,
right,
if
right.
I could just
There's
get
nothing-
AIDS. So he tried so hard to get AIDS. I'm talking about sucking off people with lacerations on their dick.
Yeah.
At the Port Authority.
Yeah.
And eventually he got it.
He spent a ton of money on testing too.
He would test himself. Like some people test their glucose levels. He would test his blood cell count, and he's like, I hope I get it. I hope I get it. I hope I get it. And then he finally got it.
Mm-hmm.
Now he gives it to other people. You're saying?
Yeah, he gives it to other people.
You're saying Colin Jost gives other people AIDS.
Yeah.
Without them knowing.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, don't repeat that, but keep it between us.
Well, it's going to be the clip. This week's clip that we release.
Good.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's not even the worst thing about SNL.
Right. No.
Not at all. It's not even in the top 10.
Right.
If you told me Colin Jost is seeding people with AIDS, none of them know, I would be like, yeah, but watch this sketch. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Trump's going to win again, probably. I just have that feeling.
Do you?
I have that feeling.
Yeah.
They're not going to back Bernie.
Yeah.
They're not going to back, Biden's getting ripped up. He's a little bit of a creep.
Yeah.
Who's going to, Kamala Harris?
Maybe.
The woman's a Fed.
Yeah.
She put more people in jail than the Clintons.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Beto O'Rourke?
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
People like that Mayor Pete guy.
Oh, you the gay guy?
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Buttigieg?
Yeah, Buttigieg.
Buttigieg? Like the name bothers me.
Well, Bernie's like the front runner right now, but I think the media is gonna.
They're gonna eat him alive.
They're gonna eat him alive.
The DNC doesn't like him.
Yeah.
He's not really a Democrat, right? I mean, he's a socialist.
Yeah, but what's a Democrat?
I have listen. I have no problem with it. I'm just talking about. You got to recognize they're a party machine.
Yeah.
They fucked him out of it the last time. Like
Yeah.
they don't want him.
Yeah, but people want him.
I agree. People wanted him last time.
Yeah.
Why would it matter now?
Yeah.
4 years later, does it matter what the people want now?
Yeah.
They wanted him last
Not
time.
really. Yeah.